Today's date is September 8th. Time is 7 p.m. We're going to go ahead and get this regular commission meeting started. First thing I'll need to do is have an approval of the agenda, please.
Second.
I have a motion moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on the agenda? Seeing none. Commissioner Long. Any from the public? Seeing, come on.
Now, Brandy Oldman for the record. I was just wanting to move number 6 off the consent agenda. As I understood, that was for non-controversial issues, and I know it's non-controversial to y'all, but I would really have a few more questions about how that loan repayment would work and things like that. And I understand if y'all don't want to do it, because I've wore your ears out, but I do think it deserves a little more discussion from my understanding. Not to be hostile about it or anything, but I really don't understand how that loan is going to work and be paid back in case the school doesn't do well, which I'm hoping it does perfectly and students do well. But if they don't, how do the taxpayers get their money back? So if you could just consider removing that from the consent agenda, that would be great. If not, I'll talk about it at public comment. Thank you.
All right, any other further public comment? All those in favor of the motion on the floor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. The motion passes unanimous. I'm going to ask Pastor Ian Campbell from Newberry United Methodist to come forward and do our invocation tonight. Please rise if you can. Stay standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
God, who we know by many names, thank you for this day. Thank you for the leaders and all the citizens here. And as we move through the most dangerous months of hurricane season in Florida, we pray for safety for Newberry and the entire state. Through discussions this evening, through leaders and citizens who show up to do this good work, through disagreements and new ideas, we ask you to strengthen our shared concern and compassion for one another. May we see one another as part of the whole. May we serve with one another as part of the whole. May we witness love, hope, and growth tonight and always in this place. Amen.
Amen. Mr. Clark.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you to both of you. Our first item tonight under presentation is what will be the last of a long series of well-deserved celebrations for our retiring clerk, Miss Judy Rice. And we are going to swear in our new clerk, Miss Randa Paul. So you want to take this?
Randa, would you bring your family up, please? Waiting for the oath to be placed. I have everything, but usually put it on the monitor. So, thank you. Okay. I have paper. I am prepared. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's kind of where I'm facing the monitor and your right hand. Please say your name for the record. And repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I'm a citizen of the state of Florida.
I do solemnly
and of the United States,
and of the United States,
and have all of the qualifications
and have all of
as required by the Charter
as required by,
for the office of City Clerk
for the office of city,
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
Being an officer of the City of Newberry
Being an officer of the city of Newberry
and a recipient of public funds as such officer,
and a recipient of public,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the
Constitution of the State of Florida,
Constitution of the state of,
and the laws and ordinances of the City of Newberry.
and the laws of and ordinances.
I will faithfully perform the duties
I will faithfully perform
of the office upon which I am about to enter.
of the office of,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Clerk Paul.
Okay.
Better?
Okay. The official seal of Newberry is more than an emblem. It is a symbol of collective identity. It represents history, aspirations, and the responsibilities of public office. For 13 years, it's been a great honor to be its temporary. The official seal has served as a constant reminder that the work is not for us, but for the legacy of this city and its citizens. Before the City of Newberry City Commission, I now hand over the official seal to you. May it be a reminder of the authority now held and the profound responsibility that comes with it. I firmly believe your vision and guidance will lead the office of the city clerk to ongoing success. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Before you leave, we have another little thing for you. Don't kill the messenger.
Okay.
No, I'm actually just going to reread the proclamation that we read earlier this year in February, and it says, whereas Judy Suggs Rice has faithfully served the city of Newberry since February 15th of 1990 and was hired as the utility clerk and third female city employee and was sworn in as the deputy city clerk effective July 1st, 1997, and became the director of finance in October 2002. Whereas Judy then founded the city's finance department and was selected city clerk effective October 1, 2012. And whereas during her tenure, Judy has consistently increased her understanding of best practices, new technologies, and emerging trends with active membership in the Florida Records Management Association, Florida Governor's Finance Officers Association, Florida Association of City Clerks, Florida League of Cities, and the Florida Institute of Government. And whereas throughout her 35 years of service to Newberry, Judy has continued her education to the betterment of her profession and the city. And whereas Judy represented the city of Newberry on Florida League of Cities Utilities, Natural Resources and Public Works Legislative Policy Committee from 2016 through 2021, And whereas Judy has consistently increased her knowledge and skills of earning certificates, including Florida Certified Records Manager, Certified Municipal Clerk, Master Municipal Clerk, Certified Supervisory Manager, and Certified Public Manager. And whereas Judy has consistently strived to improve procedures and processes for the betterment and benefit of the Newberry's residents, businesses, and employees, now therefore I, Mayor Tim Martin, on behalf of the City Commission, citizens, and employees of the City of Newberry, do hereby issue this proclamation to Judy Suggs Rice in recognition of her 35 years of exemplary service to the City of Newberry, and reaffirm in witness thereof, I have hereto set my hand and caused the great seal of the City of Newberry, Florida, to be affixed unto the aforementioned 24th day of February in the year 2025. Judy, this is a picture that we had for you as well, if you want to tell everybody who's in it.
That's my husband, Donald. We just had our 50th anniversary, and myself. So, thank you. It's beautiful.
Congratulations.
I don't have anything written down, but I do want to say thank you for the privilege of serving this community and its citizens for the past 35 years. It has been an honor to work with you all, and I wish everyone success. I know that the continued growth and success of the city is in good hands. So thank you.
And the second is another presentation, a Constitution Week proclamation of the City of Newberry, Florida. Whereas September 17th, 2025 marks the 238th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. And whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document and its memorable anniversary, and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate the occasion, and whereas the word democracy does not appear in any of the founding documents for good reason, and whereas our founders created a constitutional republic to ensure that the majority rule while the rights of the minority are protected, and whereas the Constitution outlines the proper role of government to protect our rights, not decide in times of crisis which rights we should have. And whereas if the Constitution was followed, it would resolve many of the challenges we face today on a federal government that is too expensive, too big, and too intrusive. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America, designated September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week. Now, therefore, I, Timothy R. Martin, by virtue of the authority vested in me as the mayor of the City of Newberry in the state of Florida, do hereby proclaim this week of September 17th through September 23rd, 2025 as Constitution Week, and ask all of our citizens to reaffirm the ideals of the framers of the Constitution had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through this guardian of our liberties, remembering that lost rights may never be regained. Now in witness whereof I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the city to be affixed this 8th day of September, year of our Lord 2025. Honorable Timothy R. Martin, Mayor. And I'm going to ask two members of the Daughters of the American Revolution to come forward for a picture.
You should just see that.
See ya. Okay, as presentations. The next up item is the public announcements. These are 2 minutes. I've got a yard sale, I've got an event coming up, and here comes Mr. Chris Mack. Sir? Here comes the Chris.
How are y'all this evening?
Good evening.
Chris Mack, Newberry. There you go. We have a festival coming up, September the 20th, our Fabulous 50s Festival. It's fabulous, and it's all about the 50s. Kind of works with the name, doesn't it? We'll be going from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock, September 20th, south side of Seaboard. We'll have a car show. Gainesville Street Rods will help us out with that. We'll have some cool vendors, some cool 50s music. We'll have a great costume contest, 50s contest, so I'm sure all of you will be there, right? In your 50s, right? Maybe Commissioner Farnsworth can loan you all some stuff from the 50s, no? Anyway, but what I do need is a judge. So I'll be talking to all of you in the next couple of days. I need a judge for the car show. And I would like for it to be the mayor or one of our commissioners. That would work out really well. No pressure. But September 20th, 4 to 7 p.m., South Seaboard. All the fun you can have. Come and see us. Visit our local vendors, our restaurants, our stores, and yeah, show your love for Newberry. Thank you. Say again? This is our shortest festival we do. It's like an afternoon festival. It's still the heat of the summer. It can be a little bit warm. So our next festival will be in fall. I'll be back to tell everybody about that. And that's a full day one because the temperature has finally worked on our side a little bit. It's getting there. So a couple promises that it makes, it doesn't keep. But yeah, 4 to 7, September 20th.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much.
I'm available. Any other public comments or announcements? Going once? Okay. All right, next item is the consent agenda. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
So moved.
Commissioner Clark?
Second.
And second from Commissioner Farnsworth. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimous. Public hearings and ordinances, the proposed operating millage rate. And this is script time, right? Oh, yeah. Got a lot of administrative reading tonight, so bear with us. Okay. So the City of Newberry Commission hereby convenes the public hearing on the City of Newberry's fiscal year 2025-2026 tentative millage and tentative budget as required by Florida Statute Chapter 129 and 200 as advertised in the Truth in Millage Notice, also known as TRIM. If anyone in our audience is here for the purpose of contesting their assessment, a petition for adjustment with the Value Adjustment Board should be filed prior to 5 p.m. Monday, September 15th, 2025. The petition for adjustment forms are available from the Alachua County Clerk of Circuit Court. This evening, we will take a number of actions related to the adoption of millage and budgets. The final budget hearing on these matters will be held Monday, September 22nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. in this room, Newberry City Hall Commission Chambers. I encourage you, if you have not already done so, to get a copy of the agenda so you may more easily follow the proceedings this evening. And they're in the back on the side table there. Citizens' comment will be taken following the overview of the proposed budget by the city manager and the assistant city manager / CFO. The city attorney will now present an overview of the truth in millage legislation, followed by the city manager and the assistant city manager / CFO's explanation of the tentative and rolled back millage rates.
1980, the Florida legislature adopted what is known as the In 1980, the Florida legislature adopted what is known as the Truth in Millage legislation, or TRIM, as it's called. The goal of the legislation was to ensure that taxpayers were advised of the public hearings at which the local taxing authorities' budgets and millage rates are considered and adopted. Each year, the property appraiser completes an assessment of the value of all property and certifies to each taxing authority the taxable value of the property within its jurisdiction. Each taxing authority then notifies the property appraiser of its proposed millage rate, its rolled back rate, and the date, time, and place of the public hearing to consider the proposed millage rate and the proposed budget. Once the property appraiser receives the information, he sends a notice by first-class mail to every taxpayer on the assessment roll. The notice contains the information from the taxing authorities as to the proposed millage rate and the time and place of the public hearing. The notice sent to taxpayers is called the TRIM notice. The TRIM notice lists what the taxes were for the prior year, what the taxes will be if the proposed budget changes are made, and what the taxes will be if no budget changes are made. This information is listed for each taxing authority. The notice also lists all voted levies for debt service. The purpose of the TRIM notice is to provide taxpayers with sufficient basic information to enable them to participate in the public hearing process.
Mr. Mayor, tonight I'm proud to present the City of Newberry's budget for fiscal year 2025-26. I am pleased to report that Newberry is in a strong financial position. This budget is balanced. It lowers the property tax rate from last year, and not many governments in our area can say that. Perhaps more importantly, it positions us for the future while continuing to deliver the high-quality services that our residents depend on. Our taxable property value grew by 8% this year, reaching nearly $884 million. It is that growth which allows us to lower the millage rate to 5.88 while still giving us the resources to invest in our citizens, our services, and the infrastructure that supports our community. The next several years will be some of the busiest in Newberry's history. This budget helps set the stage for major projects, the kind that will serve our city for decades. For instance, the State Road 26 Twin Pairs project. In partnership with FDOT, we are investing $10 million in reworking utilities along this corridor. This project will ease the traffic through our community, improve reliability, support economic activity, and prepare us for continued growth. The regional wastewater treatment plant expansion, this is the single largest capital project Newberry has ever undertaken. We will more than double the plant's capacity to 1.2 million gallons a day. This historic investment ensures that we can meet the needs of our residents, welcome new businesses, and strengthen partnerships with our neighbors. An elevated water storage tank, which is planned east of downtown. This 500,000-gallon tank will improve fire protection and system reliability for our growing community. A new utilities and public works operations center located at the environmental park. This facility will provide our staff with the modern space they need to serve our residents effectively. A secondary electric feed. Today, our electric system depends on a single feed along State Road 26, which is already at capacity. This project will add a second source of power, providing additional capacity and critical resiliency, making our electric system stronger, more reliable, and ready for the demands of the future. This budget also invests in the places that bring our community together and fuel our economy. Champions Park, our city's and one of the county's primary tourism driver, will receive significant funding through wild spaces and public places, alongside improvements at the Easton Sports Complex and other recreational facilities. This investment keeps Newberry a premier destination for families, athletes, and visitors from across the region. This year, the Commission made difficult but necessary decisions to ensure the long-term strength of our fire department and public safety services by increasing our fire assessment. Funding fire operations at the level required to meet the needs of a growing community is not easy, but this budget makes those commitments. Our residents can be confident that public safety remains a top priority, and this budget is proof. While some cities give lip service to public safety, while failing to provide adequate funding, this dais backs up its words with actions. Of course, like every community, we face rising costs. To keep our utilities financially strong, this budget includes modest adjustments, about $5 a month for electricity, $4 for water, and $6 for wastewater for the average household. Even with these changes, our utility rates remain highly competitive in this area, and these revenues are critical to keeping our systems reliable and ready for the future. Finally, this budget invests in the men and women who are dedicated to our residents. It includes modest raises, health insurance adjustments, and a few new positions to ensure we can continue delivering quality service as Newberry grows. Commissioners, this budget is more than a financial document. It is a blueprint for growth and resilience. It's a testament to a Newberry that is strong today and well prepared for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow. The years ahead will be busy. We will be building, expanding, and preparing for the growth we know is coming. And through it all, we will keep Newberry the kind of community we are proud to call home. Dallas Lee, our Assistant City Manager and CFO, will now lead us through a discussion of the millage and budget.
One of the requirements of the truth in millage legislation is to provide information about why tentative millage rates are higher or lower than the rolled back millage rate. The tentative millage rate for the city of Newberry is 5.800 mils, which is 3.16% more than the rolled back rate of 5.6995 mils. The rolled back millage rate is defined as the millage rate which, exclusive of new construction, additions to structure, deletions, and property added to geographic boundary changes, will provide the same ad valorem tax revenue for each taxing authority as was levied during the prior year. The rolled back millage rate in the general fund would have generated approximately $159,546 less than the tentative millage rate. This $159,546 reflects an increase in the taxes due to the millage and the property valuation increases within the corporate limits of the city. The tentative millage rate of 5.8800 will enable the city to provide for growth, maintenance of existing infrastructure, the advancement of the Commission's goals and strategic initiatives, as well as to continue providing increased levels of quality services to the citizens of Newberry. Mr. Mayor, the 2025-2026 tentative budget summary for all funds of the city of Newberry summarizes all revenue and other financing sources available to the city in the amount of $66,709,940, and reserves brought forward in the amount of $8,414,344. For total revenue and other financing sources available to the city in the amount of $75,124,284, and appropriations in the amount of $32,436,050, with reserves appropriated in the amount of $42,688,234, for total appropriations in the amount of $75,124,284. The proposed general fund budget is $15,277,194. The proposed capital improvement funds budget is $190,262. The proposed special revenue funds budget is $4,983,138. The proposed debt service fund budget is $402,650. The proposed enterprise funds budgets total $52,513,850. The proposed internal service fund budgets total $1,757,190. Additional carry-forward appropriations for unfinished projects and open purchase orders will be included in the final budget to be presented at the public hearings on September 22nd, 2025. Mr. Mayor, that concludes my comments on the tentative budgets presented to you this evening. I'd be happy to answer any questions about the budget at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. I'll now invite the citizens to comment on the fiscal year 2025-26 proposed millage rates and proposed budget. Please come forward to the podium or call. No, we don't have call-in option anymore. We do request that each speaker try to limit their comments to 3 minutes. The hearing will continue until everyone who wishes to address the commission has an opportunity to speak. Ms. Oldman.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Brandy Oldman. Did I hear the reserves we have is $45 million? And I think the tax, the millage rate decrease of 0.02 is kind of a kick in the mouth. It's like $5 per average household in Newberry. If we have that much reserve, there's probably a lot we could do with it other than like, take over a school. But no, seriously, if we have this much money, and it was a great speech by Mr. Marlowe, it really was, but I heard y'all say last week or the other week that there's no fat to cut in this budget. I did hear Monty say that there was a recreation budget that there could be fat cut from, and I know we're $2.2 million could be cut from the budget. I'm just saying. Just everything is going higher, and I know it's because tariffs and everything gets higher every year. But if we have that much in reserves, why can't we do something good here for our children besides taking over the public school? Splash pad, more fun features at parks, trampoline parks, businesses. Let's get something fun here for kids, not just adults. We got a zip line. That's cool. I'm going to that. But kids can't really do that, and young families live here. And there's not a lot to do, and we do pay a fair amount in taxes. And utilities all went up. Our fire assessment went up, and our millage rate went down by $5 for the average household. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, I don't want you to think that the reserve is like a savings account that we can dip into whenever we want, but I'll bring Dallas Lee up to give a little bit more of a professional answer than that.
I'll give it my best shot, Mr. Mayor. This year's budget, the reserves look a little odd. As you may have noticed, our starting reserves are about 8.5 million, and our ending reserves are 40 some odd million. That is all due to the wastewater treatment plant. All of that increase in reserves is the money we're encumbering for the wastewater treatment plant to then be expended back out. So we won't actually end the year with $45 million in reserves, but we will end the year with $45 million more in assets for the wastewater treatment plant. So our actual cash reserves are closer to that $8.5–9 million number.
Okay, any other citizen comments? What did you have, about 30 seconds left maybe?
Yeah.
Come on.
So that was a good point, Dallas, about the only having 8 million in reserves, and we're spending 2.2 million on a school. Thank you.
All right. I'll close public comment section and the public hearing now at this time. And Mr. Lee, I'll bring you back on to the floor here.
Mr. Mayor, the document before you included in your agenda packet is the City of Newberry fiscal year 2025-2026 budget summary, and it includes all items that were described earlier. Any additional adjustments to this tentative budget and millage should be made by motion at this time. As a reminder, the millage rate that the commission adopts at this hearing will be the highest rate the commission can adopt at its final hearing.
Sorry, does the commission wish to make any adjustments to the tentative budget or millage at this time? Seeing none. Mr. Dallas.
Florida statutes require that the name of the taxing authority, the millage rate to be levied, the rolled back rate, and the percentage increase over rolled back rate be publicly announced. Accordingly, the City of Newberry City Commission has determined that the proposed millage rate of 5.8800 mils is necessary to fund the tentative general municipal budget. This is less than the property tax levied in the prior year. The proposed millage rate represents an increase of 3.16% from the rolled back millage rate of 5.6995 mils.
'25 2025-42, a resolution determining and adopting the tentative rate of taxation on real and personal property and making the annual levying of ad valorem taxes for the City of Newberry, Florida for the fiscal year 2025 to 2026 and providing an effective date. The appropriate motion is to approve Resolution 2025-42 as read by its title only.
Do I hear that motion?
Motion. Second.
Commissioner Mazon with the motion, Commissioner Coleman with the second. And what is the discussion by the board? Seeing none, any discussion from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. The motion passes unanimous.
Mr. Mayor and City Commissioners, the resolution before you is Resolution 2025-43. A resolution of the City of Newberry, Florida, relating to the city's budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year, providing for the tentative appropriation of funds of the City of Newberry for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2025, and ending September 30th, 2026, approving a proposed general city budget, setting a public hearing date, providing for publication of notice, providing an effective date. The appropriate motion is to approve Resolution 2025-43 as read by title only.
Is there a motion?
Second.
Commissioner Long, Commissioner Mazon. Any further discussion by the commission? Any from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimous.
A public hearing will be held to consider the final millage rates and final budget for the general city purposes on Monday, the 22nd of September, 2025, at 7:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter may be heard in the Newberry City Hall Commission Chambers, 25440 West Newberry Road, Newberry, Florida. Mr. Mayor and City Commissioners, the next three items relate to your utilities. The City of Newberry establishes utility rates to generate revenue sufficient to meet its operating expenses. Staff evaluates utility rates annually during the budget process and, if warranted, recommends rates be adjusted. Staff utilizes models for developing its utility rates to forecast customers' electric, water consumption, and wastewater generation, and the anticipated expenses to determine whether rates will produce sufficient revenues which are sufficient to meet the expenses associated with providing utility services to our residents. Many of these costs have increased or are fixed, such as personnel, services, fuel, repairs, etc. At the City Commission's Utility Budget Workshop, City staff presented these proposed rate changes, and the Commission gave consensus to include these rates in our tentative budget. Residential electric rates are proposed to be adjusted by 4.5% for an average residential impact of $5.31 per month. Non-residential rates are proposed to be adjusted in a similar fashion. These rate adjustments are required to maintain the financial position of the utility and support funding of future required infrastructure investments. With these rate adjustments, our electric rates will continue to be competitive within our region and within the state. Customers were properly notified in their August bills. The city will need to file additional reports with the Public Service Commission to inform them of the proposed rate changes.
Mr. Mayor and City Commissioners, the item before you is ordinance 2025-69, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida pertaining to electric utility services in the City of Newberry to amend and revise Section 98-63, subsections 1, 2, 3, and 8, and Section 98-70, subsections H and I of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Newberry pertaining to the energy charged, providing for codification of the same, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date. The appropriate motion is to approve ordinance 2025-69 upon first reading as read by its title only.
Do I hear a motion? Commissioner Clark and Commissioner Long on the second. Any discussion from the dais? Any from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes 4-1.
Water rates are proposed to be adjusted by 7.5% in the consumption charge and in the customer charge for an average residential impact of $4.30 a month. This rate keeps the city's rates as some of the lowest residential rates in the area. These rate increases also work towards the Commission's goals of operating self-sustaining utility enterprises. In accordance with the City Commission's policy, the rate increase generally is commensurate with the Public Service Commission's published Consumer Price Index for water and wastewater, which was 2.23%. Customers were properly notified in their August bills of the proposed rate changes.
Mr. Mayor and City Commissioners, the item before you is ordinance 2025-70, an ordinance pertaining to water service within the City of Newberry, amending the prior established rates and amending sections 98-154 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Newberry, amending ordinance number 2024-32, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date. The appropriate motion is to approve ordinance 2025-70 upon first reading as read by its title only.
Do I hear a motion? Commissioner Long and Commissioner Clark. Any further discussion on the dais? Any in the public? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Wastewater rates are proposed to be adjusted by 8.5% in the consumption charges and in the residential customer charge for average residential impact of $5.91 per month. This rate increase keeps the city's rates as some of the lowest residential rates in our area. In accordance with skipped a sentence. These rate increases also work towards the Commission's goals of operating self-sustaining utility enterprises. Customers were properly notified in their August bills of the proposed rate changes.
This item before you is ordinance 2021. An ordinance pertaining to wastewater service within the City of Newberry, amending the prior established rates in Section 98-155 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Newberry, amending ordinance number 2024-31, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date. The appropriate motion is to approve ordinance 2025-71 upon first reading as read by its title only.
Do I hear a motion? Commissioner Long, is there a second? Second. Commissioner Clark on the second. All those having, any discussion on the dais? Any discussion from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Nay.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
This concludes the first public hearing. The first public hearing of the City of Newberry's fiscal year 2026 budget and millage rates. A final public hearing will be held to consider the final millage rates and final budget for general city purposes on Monday, the 22nd of September 2025, in this room at 7 p.m. All right, so that gets us down to 8, 9, 10, 11. We're on agenda item number 12. Good, ready to go. Okay. All right, this is a small-scale future land use map amendment from agricultural to commercial for the Holly Family Holding LLC. Madam Attorney, would you like to read the ordinance 2025-31 into the record, please?
An ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending ordinance number 4-91 as amended relating to a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan, providing for a change in future land use classification from agriculture to commercial on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, consisting of 9.7 acres and more particularly described in Exhibit A, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Madam Attorney. And folks in the audience are watching, we're going to kind of bounce back and forth between two things that sound very, very similar. One is the future land use map, and then one will be the rezoning for the subsequent property right after that. But just to give you a heads up, Mr. John Paul, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate it. For the record, John Paul Perez with the Community Development Department. This is second reading of this future land use map amendment. This is a small-scale future land use map amendment, so it's less than 50 acres, does not need to go to the state. There was a Planning and Zoning Board hearing on August 18th, which that body recommended adoption. This had its first reading on August 25th, and we're here for a second reading. This will be a brief presentation, but the recommended motion remains the same, to adopt. This slide just provides some basic information about the applicant and the property. Our findings are still the same as last time, consistent with the comprehensive plan and land development regulations, and I'll leave you with the recommended motion on the screen. I'm available for any questions. The applicant's here as well.
We have a motion to approve and a second from Commissioner Farnsworth and Commissioner Long. Is there any further discussion from the dais about the motion on the floor? Any from the public? Yes, ma'am.
It's me again. Do y'all know what this commercial business is going to be? Or no? You have no idea?
No,
It's just to zone it to
Yeah, this
that.
just speaks to the future land use. The next one will actually be about the rezoning part of it.
Right.
But no, it doesn't have to bring forward any proposal. That
Right.
comes later on under what's called a
exactly-
development
What part
order.
what
Yeah.
part of town is it in, basically?
Just east of the current Gromax property, you know, the retention
Gromax.
pond, almost
Yeah, yeah.
directly across from the entrance to Newberry Oaks.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Any further discussion from the public? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the dais. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Motion passes unanimous. Item number 13 will be the rezoning of the exact same property. It is a quasi-judicial, second reading ordinance 2025-32. As we enter into quasi-judicial procedure, this means the commission will stop being a legislative body and will actually become a judicial body. This means that we have to follow certain rules and adhere to different standard of decision-making. The primary rule we must follow concerns testimony and the substantial and competent evidence standard must be met when the judicial board makes a decision. The standard states the following, quote, "All public testimony will be taken under oath. Everyone testifying will be subject to cross-examination. All documents and exhibits shall be entered into evidence. The giving of opinion testimony is limited to experts. Closing arguments will be limited to the evidence of records." Now I'm going to ask the city attorney to read into the record the ordinance or resolution by title and number.
Ordinance number 2025-32, LDR 25-08, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, relating to the rezoning of 9.7 contiguous acres, amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry land development regulations, providing for rezoning from agricultural A zoning district to commercial intensive CI zoning district on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, consisting of 9.7 acres and more particularly described in Exhibit A, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Madam Attorney. At this point, I'm going to ask our clerk, for the first time, official, swear in any applicants, staff, or participants requesting to speak on any of the items, and we will swear you all in collectively, and we will begin on my immediate left. If you could introduce yourself, and then we'll swear you in.
Please raise your right hand and say.
Gordon Marlowe.
Stacy Hector.
Brian Thompson.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We'll begin with the disclosure of any ex parte communications and disclose whether any member physically inspected the property ex parte communications or any conversations or transmission of information that may have bearing or influence on any voting member's decision. And we'll do this for any of the quasi-judicials tonight, if you don't mind. Mr. Coleman, you go first, please.
Visiting the property from the Woodcock side, I was looking at it just for the width side of it, but didn't talk to anybody.
Thank you, sir. No. Mr. Farnsworth, Mr. Long, Mr. Maida? All right, thank you very much, and I did not either myself, but I am not a voting member anyway. Okay, now I'm going to explain the order of presentations, which we will actually follow for the quasi-judicial item before us tonight, and the subsequent items as well. As long as nobody else enters the room, I'm going to skip that part for the additional quasi-judicials. So first, we're going to hear the staff overview, then the applicant, and then any report and recommendation from the staff. Those are without time limit. And then the public will be able to come forward on any of these items. When I call you up, you'll have 3 minutes if you wish to speak on any of the items. And then the applicant may be able to cross-examine. Staff may cross-examine as well, and then we'll bring it to the decision-making body through the chair to ask questions of the staff or applicant or any of the other participants. Final argument may be made by the applicant or staff related solely to the evidence and testimony presented at the hearing and introduced into the record. The city attorney will advise the decision-making body as to the applicable law and the factual findings that must be made to approve or deny the application. Deliberation of the application will ensue. Any deliberations, after the deliberations, a vote will be taken to approve with conditions, continue, or deny the application. Mr. Perez, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. John Paul Perez, Community Development Department. This is the second reading, so I'll keep it brief. This is for the rezoning of the property for the future land use amendment you just saw. This has followed as a companion item, so it had all of the same hearings and all of the same very similar votes. Again, this slide just provides some basic information about the application. Our findings remain the same. It is consistent with the comprehensive plan and land development regulations, and the recommended motion is on the screen for you. That completes my presentation. The applicant's here for any questions. They don't have a formal presentation for the board. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, I don't suppose you want to cross-examine yourself or anything like that. Any questions from the decision-making body of anybody, staff or applicant? Seeing none, okay. You want to rest on your presentation, no final argument, I assume? All right. Madam Attorney, could you please advise the decision-making body as to the applicable law and factual finding that must be made to approve and or deny the application?
Your decision must be based on substantial and competent evidence.
Fair enough. If there are no further deliberations, do I hear a motion? Commissioner Long and Commissioner Clark on the second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimous. All right. Number 14, IMS 2702 LLC, small scale FLUMA, 25 acres, back to legislative. Ms. Hectus, you have the floor.
Here we go. Good evening. For the record, Stacy Hectus, Community Development Department. We have an item this evening that is on its second reading, so you all have seen this previous on the 25.11 acres of property and for the commercial development. The recommended motion is to adopt ordinance 2025-33 on its second reading, amending the future land use classification from agriculture to commercial on that 25.11 acre parcel. For the audience's context, there's the location. The purple line is 202, and this is just to the west of 202. There's the existing conditions, and there is the change they're requesting for commercial. I have the adjacent land uses there listed. And this is, again, the commercial corridor. But this is second reading, so I'm just going to flip through the slides. We find this consistent with the comprehensive plan and the land development regulations. This is in our gateway, and this is our entry property, so we'll have to take special care as to what ends up going there. Again, that recommended motion is to adopt ordinance 2025-33 on its second reading. The applicant is here if you have any further questions.
Is there a motion on the floor? Commissioner Farnsworth, Commissioner Long. Any further discussion? Commissioner Coleman.
Yeah, I want to direct this to the city manager. Is there any way we can take automotive out of this?
Everything with automotive has to come back to you guys. So it has to come back for special exception. So this is the broadest category, it gives the most options. As the mayor said earlier, at this stage, you're setting the table. It allows the property owner to then go out and shop for different vendors to come in, different businesses to come in. This is going to give them the broadest table, but any of those kinds of things are going to come back to you guys again. They'd have to come to you and say, we want to sell cars, right? And at that point, you can say, we don't see a car lot there, right? They could come back and they could say, we want to sell John Deere tractors. And you could say, we love John Deere tractors. Or Massey Ferguson, right? We don't play favorites. But any of those things would have to come back to you again. But the answer to your question is no, we can't go rewrite the zone, the package. The package exists the way it exists. This gives the developer the broadest options to go out there and bring you guys the commercial development that you so adamantly want.
Anything else? Anything else?
Yeah.
Any further?
So then, after we rezone this, they have to still come back to the commission and.
We're just on the.
Well, we're just doing the land use at the moment. Zoning will be the next one.
What is the second broadest category?
Commercial intensive?
Intensive.
Look at that. Look, I'm learning about the planning world already.
You're way ahead.
We'll make him a planner. I know.
Was that it, Mr. Commissioner Farnsworth? Okay, back to you, Commissioner
Obviously,
Cole.
there's three commissioners up here is concerned because of the automotive part. I always thought commercial intensive was where we were at all the time. I mean, we never went above that.
We've always had this.
Yeah.
And Mr. Mayor, I would say that the property owner has heard loud and clear from this dais and from the PNC that they're not going to get anywhere with a used car lot, right? So I understand that concern. I think everyone has stated that. They still have the right to bring that forward. I don't think it would get to you guys. I think it would die at the PNC, right? But if Ag Pro wants to come here, then we need this voting category. And I think your staff would say, did you sit through the same P&Z meeting that we sat through? Did you sit through the same commission meeting? Did you hear the conversations? Do you really want to spend the money and bring this application forward?
Well, I just want to make it clear,
Thank you.
and I will not vote for a car lot out there. So.
Commissioner
So,
Farnsworth?
one of the questions is, if it's zoned for automotive, what right do we have to say no to that? Because, I mean, I've always been told that if it's zoned for that,
Says specifically in the category that if they want to come back with car lots, those kind of things, that has to
you
come
have
back to you for a special
Stacy,
exception.
do you have the?
okay, so it's not automatic like,
Not
have the grid?
automatic.
I don't. I just have what's around there.
Okay.
Yeah, not automatic. The name throws
Yeah,
you
the-
off.
The name, yeah, the name does throw it off.
Right.
But the way that our zoning category works and the land use works, and the zoning will be on the zoning discussion, it specifically says anything car lot related has to come back.
If you
So it
want-
does have that carve out, and it also has all the corridor overlay restrictions on top of that, which are like super double.
If you want to leave the door open to an Ag Pro, a Massey Ferguson, this is the right. If you want to
Yeah.
close that door forever and not give yourself the opportunity to hear what comes next, then you say no.
So what you're saying is, you gotta have automotive for like a.
Ag Pro, Massey
Ag Pro, John Deere dealership,
Correct.
those kind of things.
I'm not saying that's what's coming.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you want that door to remain open, then
Have
you say
something else to
yes. If you want to close it and close off your options and choices for the future, then you
have
say
something
no.
else to-
But we can't come back as a dais and change it
Change what?
from the zoning from.
They'd have to apply.
They'd have to start all over
So
again.
what's the big deal?
Costs them to reapply, to redo
Time
it.
and money.
Here's my deal, and now this is what my citizens, or our citizens, have been saying. Later on, let's say that whatever's put there doesn't work out, and I'm gone, we're all gone.
They have to come back for
But then
special
they-
exception again.
But they already have the zoning.
They have to come back for a special exception. If they want a car dealership, they have to come back to whatever commission is here and ask for the zoning does not, and we're on future land use right now, the zoning does not follow, right, the applicant. So this zoning package gives the broadest. Everyone has heard no used car lot. If they put an Ag Pro there and now all of a sudden Ag Pro goes under, Ag Pro goes away, they sell it off, somebody else wants to come in and put a used car lot, that applicant has to come back to the commission and ask for a special exception.
Okay.
They have to come back to you guys. They have to come back to you guys. They have to come back to you guys.
Yeah, these are almost,
I was just told, I want to clarify. I was just told that once we zone it, man, it's fair game.
but
Now, is that going to be a lawsuit to the city?
That, I will grant, Commissioner, that is generally the case, that once you have the zoning package, whatever's in there. In this zoning package, it specifically states in the zoning package, I'm doing your job for you.
I know.
I'm liking it though. I'm having a good time. All right? Gotta let Miss Stacy talk here. All right? This zoning package, it specifically states for these kinds of things, because they're controversial, it has to come back.
That's why we placed the special exception in the overlay.
so is it only automotive or is there anything else that they would have to?
I'm gonna let
special
Stacy answer
exception
that
for?
question before
I'm
I mess it
sorry?
up.
Is it only automotive or is there anything else they would have to get a special exception for?
There's about 4 or 5 things. I don't have them on the top of.
Look at John Paul, see? Stepping in.
Thank you. So it's.
I know it has a
Do I need it?
faint green.
So automotive sales, recreational vehicle, boat, or ATV sales have to come back to you as special exceptions for the overlay corridor.
Have to come back. Have to come
Those are
back.
those are the other items.
Okay. Anything else?
We're good.
Okay, anything from the public? Seeing none, I'll just do roll call vote for the heck of it. Commissioner Coleman, aye?
Aye.
Aye? Aye. Motion passes unanimous. All right, we're going to go back to the quasi judicial. I haven't seen anybody else. Did you not?
Yes, you did. Yep.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Number 14.
It was so long ago, I can't remember.
All right.
I did not read it.
Okay, well, then we can pause and you can go and read it now before we skip to the next one.
All right,
Yep.
we're gonna actually go back and make sure we're having conflict of whether or not we actually read the ordinance in to the record. So the attorney is gonna do that, and then we'll revote. Just to cover ourselves.
Ordinance number 2025-33, CPA 25-05, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending ordinance number 4-91 as amended relating to a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan, providing for a change in future land use classification from agriculture to commercial on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, more particularly described in Exhibit A, parcel number 01922-000-000, consisting of 25.11 acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Do you mind restating your motion?
This is land use.
Yes.
Before we see it there.
Commissioner Clark on the motion. It was Commissioner Long on the second, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, and Commissioner Long reasserts his second. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Yeah.
The motion passes unanimous. All right, number 15, second reading of the same subject parcel. This is the rezoning of that property. This is quasi-judicial, so we will switch gears back to a quasi-judicial, and I'm going to ask the city attorney to read into the record the ordinance or resolution by title and number.
Ordinance number 2025-34, LDR 25-12, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, relating to the rezoning of 25.11 contiguous acres, amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry Land Development Regulations, providing for rezoning on parcel number 01922-000-000 from agricultural A zoning district to the commercial automotive CA zoning district on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, more particularly described in Exhibit A, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Madam Attorney. We will proceed to staff overview. Ms. Hectus, you have the floor.
Good evening again. This is the same parcel that we just discussed, going from going from agriculture to commercial automotive. Recommended motion is to adopt ordinance 2025-34 on the second reading, amending the official zoning atlas from agriculture A to commercial automotive on 25.11 acres. As you saw from the previous hearing for the first reading, there was quite a bit of discussion from the Planning and Zoning Board, and at the 8/25/25 City Commission meeting, it was a unanimous vote for approval going from agriculture to commercial automotive. I'm not going to go through all the slides, but just for reference, this is the location of the parcel. And there's the commercial automotive they're requesting. Again, the surrounding commercial and agriculture uses. The commercial corridor that this is located in. And we have the commercial automotive discussions that I will have up if you need them to refer back to. Staff does find this consistent with our comprehensive plan and the land development code. Again, this is the Pinnacle property as you come into our urban service area in the commercial corridor. So it's in the overlay district as well. So we will be taking quite a notice of this parcel, and I think the potential owners are very aware of that. Again, the recommended motion is adopt ordinance 2025-34 on the second reading, amending the official zoning atlas from agriculture to commercial automotive on the 25.11 acre parcel.
Mr. Bryan, do you have a presentation at all? No, sir? Okay, thank you. Does the public have any comment? 3 minutes to do so. Ms. Brandy, I saw your name first, and then we'll get to you, sir. Go ahead, Ms. Brandy.
I was just wondering why it can't be zone commercial something else? Why is it commercial automotive only? And what y'all got against used car lots? Some people don't make $1 million and need a used car. That was my, I'm just saying, are they ugly, or do they not bring y'all in money, or what's the reason for that, basically, that y'all don't want it to be a used car lot? I don't really care either way. I was just curious.
Most of the comments centered around, this is the first kind of property people see, and we want something
pretty.
other than a used car dealership.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Gentleman in the third row, come on down. Just state your name for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Jason Meglio, 19-year resident.
That's under public comment. They're not giving testimony.
So I guess I was just, it seems like there's a lot of questions from the commissioners, so I find it a little weird that there would be a vote on something that so many people seem to not understand. And then the city manager himself seems, if I had to put money on it, there's going to be something automotive there. Sounds like tractors. I should invest in Ag Pro. I find that a little alarming too. He seems very excited about it. But what if y'all aren't here? It's brought back to a commission. Might not be this commission, right?
Correct. I didn't want
No,
to
you're
tread.
good, you're good.
I didn't want to step on your. The reason he's bringing that up is probably because it was brought up in the P and Z meeting and in the first reading. I don't know if you were in either of those meetings. I don't remember you being there.
I wasn't. No.
But it was part of that discussion because there was actually discussion about commercial intensive that actually allows for tractor, or maybe it was automotive, that allowed for tractor sales that actually did not have to come back, although the automotive, which sounded more spooky, would, or vice versa. Maybe I have that backwards, but that's partly where it would. But under the zoning category, there are basically blanket statements, and then you have these exceptions, which are kind of like an asterisk. So all of those things that file under the asterisk, which is what Ms. Hectus just read, there was 4 of them, they would have to come back to the commission. Yes, it would potentially be another commission later on, but we aren't predictors of the future, so to speak.
Exactly.
So, yeah, this is true.
That's kind of
It is
my
true.
exact point.
It is true. Yes, your point is well taken.
I just want to make that statement. I didn't want
Fair enough.
Brandon to be the only one that consistently, where
I
it makes
hear
it
you.
seem like everybody else is just cool with everything. But again, I think it's a little strange that there's going to be a vote on something that so many people needed explained to them 5 minutes ago. So
Understood.
thank you.
Thank you.
Jason Meglio.
All right. We're at cross-examination. Does any party feel warranted there? Seeing none, no cross-examination. Okay. Members of the decision-making body, you have any questions through the chair of the applicant or staff? Seeing no further discussion, Madam Attorney, would you advise the decision-making body as to the applicable law and factual findings that must be made to approve or deny the application?
Your decision must be based on substantial.
Thank you, Madam. Any further, if there's no further deliberations, I'll entertain a motion at this time. We have a motion from Commissioner Long, a second from Commissioner Clark. If there's no further discussions, we'll do a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Coleman. Aye. Commissioner Clark. Aye. Commissioner Farnsworth. Commissioner Long. Commissioner Maison.
No.
Okay. Motion passes 4-1. Okay. Flipping the page. All right, we're going to do this party one more time on ordinance 2535. Madam Attorney?
Ordinance number 2025-35, CPA 25-06. An ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending ordinance number 4-91 as amended, relating to a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan, providing for a change in future land use classification from Alachua County Rural/Agriculture to City of Newberry Material-Oriented Industrial on certain lands recently annexed within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, consisting of 9.6 acres and more particularly described in Exhibit A, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
So once again, we're going to do future land use under legislative and then re-enter quasi-judicial for the rezoning of this particular property. Mr. Jean Paul Perez, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the first reading of this ordinance, so I'm going to go through and introduce the request to the board. And then, as we do with second readings, we'll keep it brief unless there's some changes to the application or request. So the ordinance is 2025, there's 35, going from county rural ag, recently annexed property, that was annexed on August 11th, to City of Newberry, material-oriented development. So this is, had a Planning and Zoning Board hearing on August 18th with a recommended adoption. That was a 3-1 vote, though. So the board is aware. And our staff's recommended motion is to approve on first reading. Applicant is Dirt on Demand LLC, doing business as Civil on Demand. They are the agent representing Laura J. Prees. She's the current owner, but there's a third non-named party in the applicant called Smyrna. They are a cement mixer, so they're looking to relocate their batch plant operation here. They're not creating concrete there, they're just mixing concrete there and bringing in aggregate to add to the concrete or cement to put into trucks. So there's nothing but storage of aggregate, mixing. That is not part of this application at this time. This is just the future land use map amendment. Following this, there's a companion rezoning application. A heavy industrial use like that will have to come in for a special use permit and a site and development plan. So all of that's still to be examined and looked at. At this time, we're just considering the land use and those zoning districts allowed, or those uses allowed within that land use district, and then we'll go from there. So again, they are proposing material-oriented industrial on this property. The current zoning is Alachua County Agricultural A, but as explained, there is a companion rezoning application for Industrial I. The site consists of approximately 9.6 acres, and this is an aerial image of the property. And the red line shows how folks are getting into the property currently. It does have a Northwest County Road 235 address, but the owner or the resident that's there hasn't used that in quite some time, and it's not accessible anymore because it's become overgrown, and they use Northwest 9th Place or 41 Commerce Park to get into their property currently. There is one mobile home on the property, and it has rail access, which is a big deal for this particular applicant. So here's a plat of the property showing where current access exists, and in the orange is the property that's off of the legal plat. This shows the commercial or the industrial and zoning, future land use in the area. As you can see, it's right off of the 41 Commerce Park. Looks like a logical extension of 41 Commerce Park. This property has been previously in the county. Now that it's annexed, it looks like a logical extension of that park. This would be the proposed future land use map, new purple color. These are definitions. Would you guys like me to skip past the definitions of? All right, cool. All right, level of service, we have available capacity to serve the property. Currently, we'll look at concurrency as we have development plans before us, but currently there is level of service to serve the property. Staff finds the request consistent with the comprehensive plan and land development regulations, and again, our recommended motion is to approve on first reading. If approved, second reading will be on September 22nd. Just want to throw that in there.
So what is the closest residential property to this area?
So catty corner to this particular property, the surrounding properties are not agriculture, even though they are zoned that. They're more rural residences or rural estates. And so if you look at the aerial here, You can see just on the south side of it, there's a residence abutting the property. And on the north side, looks like a silviculture. At the northwest corner is Phase 5A of Avalon Woods.
And were those property owners notified of the potential rezoning?
Every property within 400 feet was notified of this future land use map amendment and companion rezoning.
With the rezoning, I don't know if this falls under.
This is land use.
Land use, yeah, okay, you're right. So with the change in the land use, is there a potential to be putting something there that would be noisy or obnoxious in any way to the local residents?
Certainly. But that's why the special use permit is required for material-oriented development. Those are intended to abate any sort of nuisance that these would create. There's going to be an accepted level of noise, an accepted level of maybe dust or odor, but it's hopefully addressed in the review process, and then as it's implemented, gets traction. Something similar was done for Argos and a lot of the mining properties. There were special use permits adopted with those that control air quality monitoring, specific requirements for disposal of water on site that may not be able to be mixed with the sewer system, et cetera, et cetera.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Farnsworth, you're done? Hold on, Mr. Manager.
So the material oriented, if you remember the last time we heard that, that was for that cement plant across the way with the batch plant. Okay, so that was a huge concern to me. What concerns me with this is, put the photo back up there, please, the image. What concerns me with this is this. So when it comes to these, yes, I'm cool with this, so we can go forward with land use. I can see something being there, but I want to explain why I have concerns. Is that property to the north up there with all those trees, I'm concerned that that will eventually be residentials. And if that happens, we have residentials backed up to an industrial. I don't like that at all. There should be some form of a buffer. Commercial, intensive commercial, something, if you don't have trees. So that's my explanation on that.
Mr.
Mason.
Mr. Mayor,
Hold on, I got Commissioner, I had the manager teed up first here.
I just wanted, it was represented to the P&Z, but I haven't heard it said here tonight. This applicant, it already exists in this industrial park. They're moving the batch plant from one place in the industrial park to another place in the same industrial park. So you're taking one batch plant down, you're putting a better, more efficient batch plant in a different spot. Those 4 lots on that picture that you're looking at there in the upper left-hand corner have been an industrial park for as long as that industrial park has been there. In Avalon Woods, we do have a step down from residential to light commercial to the industrial. That step down ends in what will be 5A, 5B, Phase 6, 5A of Avalon Woods. There's a 3-acre wooded buffer in between that and this lot right here. And I think it's important to note that what we're talking about right now is moving one batch plant from one part of the industrial park to another part of the industrial park. They will dismantle the batch plant that exists in the industrial park if you guys let them move to this spot in the industrial park, which is closer to the rail, further away. And then as John Paul said, that's why you have all of these standards of where's the site plan? Where is this going to go, right? I think to Commissioner Mazon's point, which is a good point, if the property to the north ever wants to rezone, that would come back to you guys and you would say, it's also in Alachua County, they'd have to annex in, but you guys would have to say, well, there's already an industrial plant here, industrial park here, do we want to step down at that point in time? So this industrial park has been here, Avalon Woods has built towards this industrial park. We put that step down in between purposefully to create that buffer that the commissioner is discussing. So just want to make that clear. Dismantling one batch plant, if you guys say creating another one on the same industrial park.
Commissioner Coleman?
Well, just like over at Norfleet's over there, it's really, what makes the noise is that daggum wheel loader. Moving that material, that is what, it just, It's all the time. I mean, I got piles of calls. Are they gonna unload from CSX there, the tracks? You know? Or we can make it easy. We'll just say, hey, can we not have a backup beeper on the?
I don't know if, I don't know if OSHA will like that, but.
Mayor and Council, Brian Hercules, representing SRM Concrete. We're the potential end user on this property. A couple of things real quick, and City Manager, I appreciate what he's saying, because that's exactly where we're at. Right now, we're currently operating on the Watson property, on some rented property with a batch plant that we purchased from another company that quite simply is pretty antiquated in the way it operates. We will be dismantling that plant and taking it completely out of service and putting a new Stevens plant that's manufactured out of Kentucky for us. That plant will have the capacity to control 99.95% of the dust in the batch system. We put a filter system on the plant that's not on the current plant. The other thing we'll do is we will be paving the whole site. If you go to our site today, it's gravel. You know what gravel does? It creates dust. We will put concrete paving 8 inches thick on the whole site of where the plant itself will operate, not the whole site from the standpoint of the green space. If you look at this map, on the railroad side, there's quite a bit of trees. On the, I think that's the north side, please forgive me if I'm, yeah, the top side, there's a row of trees that will remain there to give us a buffer between, and actually we plan on leaving the buffer coming down on that side that comes into the industrial park. So basically, when you ride by on that ninth, what is it? Can't remember the road number. It's ninth lane and down.
Yeah.
Unless you know we're back there, you won't know it. We're planning on leaving all of that buffer for control of noise and any other distraction. We do have to meet and will meet and exceed the EPA standards for the air quality. We also have to have a permit for our stormwater runoff. Actually, we don't have any water released off of our site. We again control that water through the paving into a pit system that we've designed. It's a 4-pit system that the easiest way to explain it is if you're on the back of a Walmart store and you see how the trucks go down and unload at the dock. We have 4 pits that will direct that water off the site. It'll come in, go through that pit system, and any heavies that are in there, it's collected off the concrete, will settle, and we'll take that out. But we actually recycle that water back up. We sprinkle all of our aggregate stacks. So we're not like asphalt. We can work with wet aggregate. We use that to control. So we bring a load of aggregates in and it's dumped into the storage. We're going to wet it down. The other thing we do is coming out of our loader with our trucks, we have what we call a load and go. It's a 1,200 PSI truck wash. You're literally going to drive that truck through a wash before it goes out on your road. So we will control dust. We will control the noise. With the buffers, you're right. The biggest thing we have is that beep, beep, beep that's required by OSHA for backing of commercial vehicles, whether it's downtown, delivering stores, or it's on our site. There's not a lot we can do about that. But we do have some ways to control with buffers and those kind of things, and we will be employing all of those in our plant. This will be a state-of-the-art $15 to $18 million investment back into your community, and the old system will go away. It needs to.
All right, thank you.
Can I answer any other questions?
I do. I have one, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Coleman.
Are y'all planning to use the tracks to bring in the material?
We're not sure. It's absolutely a factor in the property. It's a bonus for us. We do have good relationships with CSX. We do own several quarries of our own, and there's a chance that we could bring aggregates in. We will look at what we're paying for our aggregates locally shipped into us versus what it would cost us to bring in from one of our own quarries.
Well, I like that part of it is, that's less trucks. coming in and out, which I think.
Yeah, and I will tell you, we've done a study on the number of vehicles coming in and out of our locations on a site like this. We're looking, believe it or not, only about 150 trips a day in and out. We'll typically have 6 to 10 trucks. If you go over there today, I think there's 6 trucks on our site. Those trucks will run an average of 6 loads a day. So if you go 6, times 6 is 36, times 2 is 72, that's in and outs. Then we'll have the aggregates and we'll have the cement that comes in on trucks, but we'll average less than 150 trips a day on a plant this size. So when you look at it from a transportation standpoint, it's there's a lot of trucks going in and out of there that are serving other clients.
Right.
And, and if you look, I mean, this property around on this ninth place, all of that property is owned, I think, by the feed store that's going to be relocating, I think, from their location out that way. So they're going to have trucks going in and out as well, so.
Commissioner Coleman, you're done. Commissioner Mazon, and then Commissioner Farnsworth. Oh, thank you. Commissioner Farnsworth?
Does that property connect to 235, or, I mean, are you able to come out on, you're not able to come out on 235?
We're not able to come out on 235.
Okay.
Now, and I will tell you, I guess it's a good time, we go ahead and talk about. Okay. Well, it came up.
Came up, go ahead.
Yeah. So one of the things that came up at the planning meeting, and a gentleman that I had never met him, he showed up with the, I guess, the feed store, and he said that if you look on this map coming off of 9th End, there's a designated area coming into that property. And he said he had a survey that showed that that did not exist, which would eliminate an entrance into that site. So he and I had a conversation in the hall afterwards. It moved through planning, knowing that that was an option that we needed to work out, because if we had to come out on 235?
Yes.
Please forgive me.
Not for
I have 35 different projects in 6 states that I'm trying to keep up with, and I've been in the car since 5 o'clock this morning to get here. There's a dirt road that runs up parallel with a railroad track to an entrance onto 235 that has become unusable. There's trees down and those kind of things. It would not be conducive, even if I went in there and put some gravel or something on that road or tried to fix that road. It's not conducive to get traffic in and out. The proper way to go in and out is through this industrial area. So we went back and checked the records. Our survey that we had done on the property as a purchase opportunity shows an 80-foot right-of-way. I've been working with the town manager, working with Mr. Lloyd. It appears that right-of-way does exist. So we have come to an agreement with Mr. Lloyd to sign a document where we're going to agree on the use of that right-of-way in and out of the property. And when I left Friday afternoon, our conversation was I had shared with him a document from our attorney. They agreed to it. There was 1 or 2 just typographical errors that needed to be fixed in the draft. And he said he was ready to sign that. He gave me permission tonight to tell you that. That has been worked out. That document will be signed this week. And when we come in with the property for the site plan and those kind of things, we'll accommodate that question.
One more thing, just for clarity, the people worried about the houses or something near your property, you're trying to acquire to the south of you right there, correct?
I have a contract on 2
There you
acres
go.
south.
So there's nothing near that property.
Okay.
Yeah.
Commissioner Mazon is next, I believe.
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So you're going to demolish your old property plant?
We're on leased property. We don't own the property. Watson's Excavating, and they have, I think they have their excavating company and a asphalt plant there. We're on that site. We want our investment in Newberry to be ours. We want to control our future. We want to be here. We want to do business with your community. So for that reason, we're making an investment in the property and a state-of-the-art plant.
Does your certification stay with the land or it goes with the business?
The certification as far as the batch plant operation, it goes with the business.
Okay. So then if Watson wanted to put another batch plant up, they'd have to get recertified.
I don't want to speak for the community, but I think he would have to come in and go through the same process.
And does the zoning stay there? Is the zoning there? So could he technically put another batch plant there?
he does have the appropriate zoning, he would have to come back to the commission for his special exception to say.
His
with that
zoning
property.
includes not only the batch plant area, it's his asphalt plant and his
He already has
excavating
some-
company.
He already has some of those rights.
So you said that the old batch plant doesn't have, I guess it's not up to code?
It's not up to, I'm not saying it's not up to code. It's up to code. It's just antiquated technology. It's the old way of making the batch plant operate.
The old one still has roll-up windows. He wants to
Yeah.
put power
Yeah,
windows
it's,
in.
we have a trailer over there that they work out of.
Yeah.
It's actually a portable unit, but
Yeah.
it's set there as a permanent unit. We're going to build a new permanent unit. We'll build a 800 square foot, 2-story batch house that'll be a brick structure that will provide our employees a break room, bathroom, and then also the batch area. This will be and I'll bring pictures of what we're doing that can give you an idea. It's a state of the art.
So out of curiosity,
Yes, sir.
right, were you able to upgrade your plant at this point?
No,
You couldn't?
No.
There's no way that you
no,
could?
it's just old, wore out equipment.
Filters, nothing? Couldn't put it in there, stop?
What you can do is put a water bar, and we have put a water bar, but you got the driveway, like today, when you go over there and look, the washout area for the truck is on the front of the property. The collection pits are on the back of the property. You gotta let the water flow completely across the whole property. It's all gravel. It's not, it's just not. And the problem you got now is to go back in there and put an 8-inch concrete base and concrete all that area. You gotta move all that equipment. You're gonna move all that equipment, you might as well replace it. I don't wanna replace and invest $15 million on a piece of property I don't own.
I personally, I think that that's a great location for your silos to go. I do, but I'm playing chess right now. I'm worried about those properties, and I hear you say it's about the sound. I'm not worried about the sound. I mean, we got explosions that go on throughout the city of Newberry. If you're worried about beeping sounds of a cement truck, you got issues, right?
Yep.
I'm more worried about the barrier, the distance. That's what I'm worried about. Your old plant has more distance from the residentials than this new one
Actually,
would.
the old plant's closer.
Then if somebody was to put a residential on that grass
If
area?
you look at where we're at currently, we're right next to the subdivision.
So if somebody was to put a subdivision, and it's
My
not this
unders-
commission, and they put a subdivision right where you're talking about putting your plant, you're saying that that's not closer than your old plant?
I don't want to overspeak here, but I think that's what you were saying. There's actually a buffer between that in that treat area.
John Paul, can you move that cord on the ground before somebody trips
You
on it?
say that, but I drive that road. That road is drivable. That road go along that railroad track, it is drivable. I personally would not, but we don't know what commission would when we're not here. So I gotta think about the future.
Mr. Mayor, I would say two things. One, CSX has an easement down there. CSX is not going to let a road for a subdivision come in and out to cross a railroad. That's not happening. It is very, very difficult to get a railroad crossing.
I'd also,
And second, I think that the question and concern you're raising, that would be for someone who brings an application forward for that property, not for this property, because this property is first. So we judge each application on the world as it exists today. And then if the industrial park is there first, then you would say, if you want to, there's an industrial park here already. I think the concerns you're raising are perfectly valid when the residential subdivision is there and industrial park wants to move in and set up shop right next to it. You say, wait a minute, the residents are there first. But in this case, the industrial park is here first and the land that's to the north is undeveloped. So if the batch plant moves from one spot to the other, then I think the commission would consider the buffer on the other property, right? And at site plan, you would also bring this up and you would say to this applicant, I want you to bring that site plan further south so that you will stay away from any potential development. So, but that will be at site plan, not at zoning.
Or at land use. This is land use.
This is land use. But even at zoning, you're not going to say where that
the
plan's going
site
to go.
plan, he may come in and
At
say,
the
"Well,
site plan, you're going to say, we want you to sink that as far south as you can to create as much buffer on the north as you can. So I think the commission has options to address the concerns that you're bringing. I'm just not sure it's fair to this applicant to hold potential future developments that may or may not occur in Alachua County,
Yeah,
him responsible.
Commissioner Coleman has the floor.
Actually, to be honest with you, I just thought that was a hayfield back there and it was part of this,
Subdivision?
no,
Industrial?
no, industrial subdivision. See, the way that road is that goes up right there, I did not even know there was somebody even living back there. I thought it was part of the industrial park, to be honest with you. So I think that's the perfect spot. You know, they're gonna know that even everything east of there in the industrial park, if they they've already built a subdivision up to it. So that's on them. So that's where I'm at.
I mean, I don't know if
I'm
you can-
definitely in favor because the railroad track is there, which to me, I think about taking more semis off the road. So I'm definitely for it.
There's no further discussion. We have a motion and a second on the floor.
Got more.
Commissioner Farnsworth.
That area, that road that's parallel to the railroad track, is that still going to be there, or is that?
That, you talking about 235, or you talking about the dirt road that people have been using? The dirt road that people have been using, I think that they may be able to claim a use, maintenance, easement. I mean, they're not maintaining it.
Yeah.
So, in my mind, that's a CSX question. I can tell you that the chance of CSX approving a subdivision to go over there that's gonna cross, you know that they came to us and wanted us to shut down Second Avenue years ago because they do not want to pay for railroad crossings unless it hits, some sort of level. They would not be in favor of approving a subdivision. I think that Commissioner Coleman is right. The most likely thing that's going to go up and down that railroad are things that are going to want to attach into the railroad because rail connections for getting carts off the road getting very rare and are getting very valuable.
Yeah, I just remember that road being open and used quite a bit at one time, and then it just kind of disappeared. Also, is this property serviced by our water and sewer? Yes, okay.
Yes.
The park is,
I think there's a water main actually on right there that runs parallel between the 2-acre tract and the 9-acre tract that dead ends right, well, there you go, he's got it. And then we would have to run our sewer out, and then attach to the sewer there at the front, so. We're prepared to do that.
Is there any public comment? Ms. Brandy?
I can't read these maps for nothing. I heard Avalon Woods. Is this near Easton?
Avalon Woods is
Near Easton.
northwest of this property.
Close, do we think?
Yeah, you can't see
We
it.
can't see it. I just worry about the dust for the kids. Okay.
Yep.
That's all, that was my only concern. Thanks. Is Easton?
That's the very southern part of Avalon Woods, closest to,
Easton's further up?
yeah, Easton's
Okay.
1,000, 1,500 feet or so, I guess.
This will, Mr. Mayor, this will be further away from Easton than the current plan is. I mean, the industrial park has been there for 20 years. And everything that's coming around has come around the industrial park, so.
The gray
this will be
gray
further.
is the existing industrial park, Brandy. The existing. No, it's right there.
They're moving from up this way to back here.
Way up there.
Yep.
I just did a quick measurement on Map Genius, and this property from the northwest corner is about half a mile from the Easton building.
Okay. Sir, you had a public comment?
Question?
You got it.
I was just curious, I heard that it's an investment in Newberry,
Yes.
said a handful of times.
Yes.
I just don't know what is the investment? Is there a bunch of jobs that are gonna come along with it? If the plant's already here, I would imagine there's not.
I think he's speaking more to the financial investment of the $15 to $18 million, which will actually show up on greater taxes for us on the property value millage side and the, yeah.
You know what that is? what that is?
Yeah, that would be total
We
speculation.
wouldn't be able to calculate it until they actually build it, and then once we have their asset value, then Dallas could run the numbers, everything.
So it would just be
Roughly.
some additional property taxes?
Yeah, and if they are able to, I'm sure they'll, add more jobs. If there's
I mean,
more,
they're here.
if there's more capacity, yeah, I mean, if they need more people.
It's, based on the numbers they've given us, Mr. Mayor, it's just under $90,000 a year in taxes that it would increase.
Plus, one other thing. Purple plant, your avalorum is not assessed.
You gotta come up to the mic, sir. Brian, you gotta come up to the mic.
Keep in mind, that the first part of this is we annexed the property, so this was currently county property that now will be in the city. And you're right, the investment is about, between the property cost and the investment of the plant and the buildings, we're gonna be, somewhere in the neighborhood of $15 to $18 million. And we would expect, with new technology and better ability to serve, that our portion of the market would grow, and that would bring on a few more jobs. It's not like where I'm going into a brand-new community with a new plant and no jobs.
Understood.
But we would be looking to bring some new jobs as we grow.
Understood.
And then we have the investment of the, from the standpoint of the more materials we're supplying to the community, the more sales tax you'll collect.
Understood. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, were you finished, sir?
I guess, I got the answer. I
Okay.
assumed it's gonna be no new jobs, just not getting the $15 million of the sale, but.
No, we're not getting 50 million.
And you guys keep saying 15 million, but unless you're getting it, I know I'm not getting it, so.
Yeah, maybe the technical little difference in definition, sure. Any other public comment? Seeing none. Any further discussion by the board? If not, we have a motion to properly seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Motion passes unanimous. All right, well, we will switch gears to the quasi judicial. I don't believe anybody new has come into the room. So we have quasi judicial first reading of an ordinance 2536. I'm going to ask the attorney to read into the record the ordinance resolution by title and number.
Ordinance number 2025-36, LDR 25-13, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry Land Development Regulations, providing for rezoning from Alachua County Agriculture A zoning district to the City of Newberry Industrial I zoning district on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, consisting of 9.6 acres and more particularly described in Exhibit A, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Oh, great. Or we will move into the presentation order as read earlier this evening, and starting with the staff overview. Jean-Paul Perez, you have the floor.
Mr. Mayor,
Sure.
if anybody new needs to be sworn in who might give testimony, can we go back to swearing in? Just in case we didn't
We have
swear
new?
Mr. Hercules in the first time.
Oh,
So can we
pardon me.
swear him in just in case he wants to speak, since this has caused more conversation? Madam Clerk, can you swear him in? He didn't stand up the first time.
All right, Jean-Paul.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The request before you tonight is the companion rezoning application, ordinance 2025-36, which is proposing to change the zoning district from Agriculture A, which is a county zoning district, to City of Newberry Industrial I. This was heard by the Planning and Zoning Board on August 18th. They recommended adoption. It was unanimous. Our recommended motion this evening is to approve first reading, and if approved on first reading, second reading will be on September 22nd. The applicant is the same on the future land use map, but for the record, it is Dirt on Demand LLC, doing business as Civil on Demand as the agent. Laura J. Prees is the owner of the property. Site's about 9.6 acres. Address is 710 Northwest County Road 235, and the tax parcel number is 01897-004-000. This is an aerial of the property showing the current conditions of the property as well as access. Currently, there's only a mobile home on the property. A lot of these images are reused from the future land use map amendment. Current zoning district is agriculture A. They want it to be industrial I to be consistent with the land use that was just adopted. As you can see, makes more sense now with the gray and the more gray. Yeah. Level of service. So with zoning, we look at concurrency. Concurrency won't be a question until we have an actual development plan in front of us. For the time being, we can only look at level of service, which we have established as being there is available capacity to serve the property. We'll see if that capacity is sufficient when they come in with their development plan. Impact fees apply. And any sort of extension of city services will be at the expense of the developer, but everything's kind of already been built out there because this was an intended extension of Commerce, 41 Commerce Park. So again, we do find it consistent with the comprehensive plan and land development regulations. Our motion is on the screen. That completes my presentation. The applicant's here if you have any questions. Thank you.
Very good. It said it was on Clay Electric. Is it on City of Newberry water? I'm just wondering how we can make some money off the water they're going to use on that cement. Thank you.
Decision must be based on substantial and competent evidence.
This next one is ordinance 2025.
Ordinance number 2025-68, LDR 25-29, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida relating to the rezoning of 165.88 contiguous acres, amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry Land Development Regulations, providing for rezoning from agricultural A zoning district to the agricultural technology AT zoning district on parcel ID 01919-000-000 on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, more particularly described in Exhibit A, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Madam Attorney. Ms. Hectus, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good evening again. Stacy Hectus, Community Development Department. I'm super excited to be here this evening regarding this specific item. I really am. So we have a motion to recommend adoption to ordinance 2025-68, amending the official zoning atlas from agriculture A to agriculture technology, which is the first time this is being used on a parcel that you all just adopted a little less than a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago. So this is the first reading. We have the second reading that will be heard Monday, September 22nd at 7 p.m. here at City Hall for the City Commission meeting. The Planning and Zoning Board voted 4-0 unanimously to approve this rezoning of this parcel. So you all are probably very familiar with this agriculture technology parcel. It has a corporate park future land use on it. It is owned by Miss Norita Davis. It's 165.88 acres. This is the last step to have this. Basically, the runway is open and ready to go for development of our agriculture technology park. There's the parcel right in the middle. These are the existing conditions. It has the corporate park land use. We're getting the request, this is a city-initiated rezoning of this parcel to our agriculture technology new zoning district that was recently approved. These are the parcels surrounding on the north, east, south, and west, the future land use of those parcels, as well as the zoning. And I'm sure you all are very familiar with the folks that are around there. The other important piece of this is fulfilling one of our main strategic plan, our 2022 strategic plan goals, and that is goal D3, a strong, diverse local community, and objective D3.3 specifically says facilitate the development of the Newberry Agriculture Technology Park, which is what this parcel is. So when this change of zoning, this parcel is now completely ready after the second reading for all things agriculture technology. You may have seen some of the conceptual plans. These are all, these were done via studies. This has been 15, 20 years in the making, probably by the time you go back to the early initial grant starting. These were some of the uses that this is the intent of the district, and that's supporting the economic development, creating agriculture technology park within the city limits, facilitate orderly and consistent growth, align with the mission of the park and the city so that it looks cohesive, protect adjacent residential and commercial areas, preserve property values and a strong tax base, and uses must support the park's core purpose and activities, which is the agriculture technology. We have the permitted principal uses and structures. I can go through these if you would like, but we just went through them when you adopted the agriculture technology zoning district. I can answer specific questions about any of the uses that you have if you need me to. We have the special exceptions that would have to come back to you via different types of approvals. Also listed here, these were again recently adopted by you in the zoning district. We find that this proposed rezoning is the keystone to bring the agriculture technology park to fruition. It would make this parcel ripe and ready for ag tech development. Staff does find this proposed rezoning consistent with the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan and land development regulations, and again, supports that 2022 strategic plan initiative.
Thank you, Ms. Hectus.
You're
Is there any
welcome.
public comment? Seeing none, any questions of the applicant or on behalf of the applicant from the dais of staff? Seeing none, Madam Attorney, advise of the decision-making by the applicable law and factual findings, please. If there's no further deliberations, I'll entertain a motion at this time.
Motion.
We have a motion and a second from Maison and Coleman. There's no further deliberations. All those in favor signify by saying, no closing arguments, I assume.
No closing arguments, I assume. That was a lot to say.
Yeah. Did you have something? Yeah, we did it. We did it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimous. All right.
Should we give the board
That might be the last, not really.
Mr. Mayor, before we go into all these annexations here, I just want to thank the board because that really was a historic moment. I understand the public's frustration because we say 10 years ago, this is what we want, and then it's a painstaking, intense process, step by step by step, and everybody always wants to jump to the end. They want to know what's coming, and there's 15 steps that we got to do. Same thing with ag tech. This was a very important step. I appreciate Ms. Stacy. We all thought we had already done this, and she found, no, you set the table for it, but you never served dinner. And we got it back. We got it on the fast track. We got it in front of the P&Z. She got it in front of you guys. Last month was a brutal month for our community development department. We had a lot that we were trying to make sure that we got set. So I appreciate you. Please tell your team how much we appreciate you, and to the commission, from an agricultural family that's been 4 generations of farming in this city. I look forward to this because this is the future of ag, and this is how we protect the agricultural land. And I'm sorry the resident left. He asked why for the commercial automotive. Well, you guys said specifically that in this area you wanted agricultural type activities. That commercial automotive leaves the door open for things like Ag Pro, those kinds of things. So I'm not saying that's coming. Simply saying it leaves the door open for those kinds of things to happen around the Ag Tech Park. So thank you guys for this important milestone. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. All right, number 19, and this is the brutal gauntlet for tonight. And it is it's going to be the future land use on about 20 properties, and then we're going to do the rezoning. So let's go ahead and take 5 minutes, and we are in recess for 5 minutes. We'll come back at 9 p.m., straight up 9 p.m.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will reconvene the commission meeting. Today's date is September 9th, or 8th, excuse me, and time is approximately 9:01. We're going to do a slew of small-scale future land use map amendments, similar to what we were just doing on the individual properties, and then we will go into the rezonings, which will be quasi-judicial. But for now, we are in legislative. The most important process here, part of the process is public comment opportunity on them. So, Madam Attorney, if you are ready, I am ready, and
No, I'm good. It's good to see.
we did this in about 20 minutes, I think,
Yes.
last time.
Let's roll.
So, fire, ready to go.
Anybody?
Ordinance number 2025-37, CPA 25-07, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending ordinance number 4-91 is amended relating to a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan, providing for a change in land use classification from Alachua County Rural Agriculture less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, to City of Newberry Agriculture less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 04276-006-001, consisting of approximately 5 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
What is the pleasure of the commission? Motion and a second, Farnsworth and Long. Is there any discussion? Any from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes, and noted Mr. Maison is out of the room. Next one.
Ordinance number 2025-38, CPA 25-08, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending ordinance number 4-91 is amended relating to a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan, providing for a change in land use classification from Alachua County Rural Agriculture less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres to City of Newberry Agriculture less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres on certain lands within the corporate limits of City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 04276-006-000, consisting of approximately 4.61 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Commissioner Farnsworth has moved, Clark is second. Any discussion? Any from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Ayes have it, motion passes unanimous. Number 3.
Ordinance number 2025-39, CPA 25-09, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending ordinance number 4-91 as amended relating to a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan, providing for a change in land use classification from Alachua County Rural Agriculture less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres to City of Newberry Agriculture less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel numbers 02512-001-014 and 02512-001-030, consisting of approximately 10 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Is there a motion? Commissioner Long and Commissioner Farnsworth on the second. Any discussion from the dais? Any from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying Newberry. Newberry. The Newberries have it. Motion passes unanimous. 25-41.
Ordinance number 2025-41, CPA 25-11, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending ordinance number 4-91 is amended relating to a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan, providing for a change in land use classification from Alachua County Rural Agriculture less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres to City of Newberry Agriculture less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres on certain lands within the corporate limits of City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 02517-001-000, consisting of approximately 5.61 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Is there a motion? Commissioner Long and Commissioner Clark. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimous. 25-42, Ms. Attorney.
Ordinance number 2025-42, CPA 25-12, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending ordinance number 4-91 as amended, relating to a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan, providing for a change in land use classification from Alachua County Rural Agriculture, less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, to City of Newberry Agriculture, less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 02574-021-000, consisting of approximately 1.84 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
The pleasure of the commission. Farnsworth, Long, any discussion? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimous. 2543.
Ordinance number 2025-43, CPA 25-13, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending ordinance number 4-91 as amended, relating to a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan, providing for a change in land use classification from Alachua County Rural Agriculture, less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, to City of Newberry Agriculture, less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 04377-011-000, consisting of approximately 23.13 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Commissioner Long and Commissioner Clark on the second. I'm sorry, Commissioner Coleman, sorry. So Commissioner Long and Commissioner Coleman. Any further discussion? Any from the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Madam Attorney, 2545.
Ordinance number 2025-45, CPA 25-15, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending ordinance number 4-91 as amended, relating to a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan, providing for a change in land use classification from Alachua County Rural Agriculture, less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, to City of Newberry Agriculture, less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 04276-003-000, consisting of approximately 1.36 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Clark and Commissioner Long on the second. Any discussion from the dais? Any from the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimous 4-0. Again, Commissioner Mazon still out of the room. Madam Attorney, 2546.
Ordinance number 2025-46, CPA 25-16, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending ordinance number 4-91 as amended, relating to a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan, providing for a change in land use classification from Alachua County Rural Agriculture, less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, to City of Newberry Agriculture, less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 04276-004-000, consisting of approximately 8.24 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
I think it's your turn, Commissioner Mazon. Commissioner Mazon and Commissioner Long. Any discussion on the future land use map on this property? Any from the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Motion passes unanimous. 5-0. Madam Attorney, 2547.
Ordinance number 2025-47, CPA 25-17, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending ordinance number 4-91 as amended, relating to a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan, providing for a change in land use classification from Alachua County Rural Agriculture, less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, to City of Newberry Agriculture, less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 04384-018-000, consisting of approximately 6.16 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Coleman, Commissioner Mazon. Any discussion from the dais? Any from the public? All those in favor signify by saying almost done.
Almost done.
Motion passes unanimous, 5-0.
Madam Attorney, 2548.
Ordinance number 2025-48, CPA 25-18, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending ordinance number 4-91 as amended relating to a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan, providing for a change in land use classification from Alachua County Rural Agriculture, less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, to City of Newberry Agriculture, less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 02538-006-001, consisting of approximately 0.69 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Is there a motion? Commissioner Long and Commissioner Clark. Any discussion on this property? Any from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying Peggy Lloyd.
Peggy Lloyd.
Peggy Lloyd.
Commissioner Farnsworth and Commissioner Long, did you vote?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimous. 2551.
Ordinance number 2025-51, CPA 25-21, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending ordinance number 4-91 as amended, relating to a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan, providing for a change in land use classification from Alachua County Rural Agriculture, less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, to City of Newberry Agriculture, less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 04399-001-007, consisting of approximately 1.02 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Is there a motion?
Motion. Second. I'll second Judy Rice.
That's not the motion. Any discussion on the floor? Any from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimous. All right, that closes, that's a 5-0 unanimous vote on that one.
Roughly 200 acres.
Bring them all there. Moving on.
We
Yeah,
cut a few of them down and closed out one.
yeah. All right, now this will be quasi judicial. Let me go back to reading since we had the recess and make us look professional and all that stuff. So we are entering quasi-judicial procedure. This means the commission will stop being a legislative body and become a judicial board, which means that we have to follow certain rules and adhere to a certain different standard of decision-making. The primary rule we must follow concerns testimony, and the substantial and competent evidence standard must be met when the judicial board makes a decision. This standard states the following, quote, all public testimony will be taken under oath. Everyone testifying will be subject to cross-examination. All documents and exhibits shall be entered into evidence. The giving of opinion testimony is limited to experts. Closing arguments will be limited to the evidence of record. I am now going to ask the city attorney to read into the record the ordinances by title. And we're going to do the first one. If you are ready. Are you ready? Okay. Go ahead.
Excuse me really quick. Is this the one where you have to ask me if I'm entering my presentation and I have to say that it meets the intent?
Yeah, we'll.
With the quasi?
I was
Perfect.
going to do that, the
Excellent.
staff overview part, yep.
Perfect. Just making sure.
Ordinance number 2025-52, LDR 25-15, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida relating to the amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry Land Development Regulations, providing for rezoning from Alachua County Agriculture A to City of Newberry Agriculture on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 04276-006-001, consisting of approximately 5 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Madam Clerk, could you at this time swear in any applicants, staff, or participants requesting to speak? And they may be collectively sworn in, and this will be for any of the 35,000 annexation or rezonings we got.
Stacey Hectus.
All right, as we get underway here, I want to disclose any ex parte communications and disclose whether any member of the decision-making body has any conversations or transmission of information that may have bearing or influence on any voting decision. And we'll start to my immediate right. Commissioner Mazon, do you have any ex parte communication you'd like to disclose on any of the parcels?
And I do not either. So I'm going to explain the order. We are going to get the staff overview, go immediately to public comment. We'll come back if you don't have any questions, just offer a motion, and we will go from there and try to expedite this as much as possible. But the public will have an opportunity to speak on any of the particular items, okay? So Ms. Hectus, you are
Thank you.
on the mic.
All right. So I'm not going to read out each of these individually since the attorney here will read them all as we go through them. But these are the annexations that occurred on August 11th. These where you just heard the land use changes on them. This is the rezoning changes on them from county to city, from county agriculture to city of Newberry agriculture. If approved, the second reading for both of these items, I did not mention it in the first item, but both the FLUMA and the rezoning will be held here in the same building on Monday, September 22nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. Here's a map of the location of those annexations in the bubbles. We have a much clearer map, I think, in your actual paperwork. If you have any questions about any of the parcels, you can ask for any of the specifics if you need any. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much. Is there any public comment? Seeing none? Motion? With any, okay. Got a motion from Commissioner Long and a second from Commissioner Clark. And please let me know if you're going to change any presentation and these are all like to like
They are
transactions,
like to like
correct?
transactions, yes.
Okay. There's no further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimous. Next item, Madam Attorney.
Ordinance number 2025-53, LDR 25-16, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, relating to the amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry Land Development Regulations, providing for rezoning from Alachua County Agriculture A to City of Newberry Agriculture on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 04276-006-000, consisting of approximately 4.61 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
The staff has given an overview, and is there any public comment? Seeing none, pleasure of the board. Commissioner Long and Commissioner Clark again. No further deliberations. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Motion passes unanimous. 2554, Madam Attorney.
Ordinance number 2025-54, LDR 25-17, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, relating to amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry Land Development Regulations, providing for rezoning from Alachua County Agriculture A to City of Newberry Agriculture on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 02512-001-014 and 02512-001-030, consisting of approximately 10 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Any changes on this one, ma'am? No. Any comments from the public? Pleasure of the board. Commissioner Long and Commissioner Clark again. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimous. 2556, Madam Attorney.
Ordinance number 2025-56, LDR 25-19, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, relating to the amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry Land Development Regulations, providing for rezoning from Alachua County Agriculture A to City of Newberry Agriculture on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida. Parcel number 02517-001-000, consisting of approximately 5.61 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Any changes, Ms. Hectus? No. Any public comment? Pleasure of the board.
Second.
Oh, looky here, Commissioner Coleman and Commissioner Mazon. Coleman and Mazon. There's no further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimous. 20. Sir?
That was a dig.
Sir?
That was a dig.
On me?
No.
I can
Well,
take.
maybe.
I can take it. 2557, Madam Attorney.
Ordinance number 2025-57, LDR 25-20, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida relating to amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry land development regulations, providing for rezoning from Alachua County Agriculture A to City of Newberry Agriculture on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 02574-021-000, consisting of approximately 1.83 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Same, any changes, Ms. Hectus? Any public comment? Seeing none, motion has been passed by Maison and seconded by Coleman. Amazing Coleman.
That was nice.
Uh,
That was nice.
If there's no further deliberations, all those in favor signify by saying go Gators.
Go Gators.
Oh, you did it.
Y'all gonna fail.
Motion passes 4-1 with Commissioner Farnsworth in dissent. All right, 2558.
Ordinance number 2025-58, LDR 25-21, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida relating to amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry land development regulations, providing for rezoning from Alachua County Agriculture A to City of Newberry Agriculture on certain lands within the corporate limits of City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 04377-011-000, consisting of approximately 23.13 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Any changes, Ms. Hectus, on this one? Any public comment? Commissioner Long and Commissioner Coleman on the second. Long and Coleman. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. 2560.
Ordinance number 2025-60, LDR 25-23, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida relating to amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry land development regulations, providing for rezoning from Alachua County Agriculture A to City of Newberry Agriculture on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 04276-003-000, consisting of approximately 1.36 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Ms. Hectus, any changes? Any comments from the public?
Second.
Commissioner Coleman and Commissioner Long. There's no further deliberations. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimous. 2561, Madam Attorney.
Ordinance number 2025-61, LDR 25-24, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida relating to the amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry land development regulations, providing for rezoning from Alachua County Agriculture A to City of Newberry Agriculture on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 04276-004-000, consisting of approximately 8.24 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Any changes, Ms. Hectus? Any public comment?
Second.
Seeing no public comment, motion's been made by Commissioner Coleman and seconded by Commissioner Maison. If there is no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimous. All right, turn the page, 2562.
Ordinance number 2025-62, LDR 25-25, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida relating to the amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry land development regulations, providing for rezoning from Alachua County Agriculture A to City of Newberry Agriculture on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 04384-018-000, consisting of approximately 6.16 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Any changes, Ms. Hectus? No. Any public comment? Motion on Commissioner Clark and Commissioner Farnsworth. If there's no further questions from staff or deliberation, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimous. 2563, Madam Attorney.
Ordinance number 2025-63, LDR 25-26, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida relating to the amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry land development regulations, providing for rezoning from Alachua County Agriculture A to City of Newberry Agriculture on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 02538-006-001, consisting of approximately 0.69 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Any changes, Ms. Hectus?
No.
Any public comment? Any motion on the floor?
Motion.
Commissioner Mazon with a motion, Commissioner Clark with the second. If there's no questions of the staff, no further deliberations, all those in favor signify by saying almost done.
Almost done.
Almost done, have it, unanimous. motion passes. 2566, Madam Attorney.
Ordinance number 2025-66, LDR 25-28, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida relating to the amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry land development regulations, providing for rezoning from Alachua County Agricultural A to City of Newberry Agriculture on certain lands within the corporate limits of City of Newberry, Florida, parcel number 04399-001-007, consisting of approximately 1.02 contiguous acres, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Any changes, Madam Hectus? Any public comment? Any motion? Commissioner Long and Commissioner Farnsworth on the second. If there's no further questions of staff or deliberations, all those in favor signify by saying the last one.
Last one.
Motion passes unanimous.
So,
Good job, 25 minutes on that.
awesome. I didn't know
good-
if you
good
noticed the names on the annexations on this round, but a lot of your business owners have annexed in.
Nice.
Yep.
Very
Mr.
good.
Mayor,
Very good. Okay, well, that concludes that segment of the agenda, and before we move on to the agenda items, I'd like to recognize the city manager, who's now changed jackets.
well done. Well,
What are you, like Bat
Well, you
Superman
guys,
in there?
yeah, you guys don't let me ever go home, so I just have a whole wardrobe back there, you know. I just wanted to say, by unanimous consent, I think of the dais, staff, and the public, we're going to end the policy of collecting annexations and doing them only twice a year. There are simply, at this point in our history, too many people who want to annex into our community. So we're not talking about, you know, doing 2 or 3 every 6 months. We're talking about doing 39, you know. And so we already have applications that are waiting for the next round. The newest one is over 160 acres. So we're a very popular community. If you pay attention, not just to Newberry, but to everyone else around us, you know how stable our community is, how well governed our community is, and a lot of people are trying to flee and get in. So we're going to take them as they come so that we won't ever have to do this again. So, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, agenda item, thank you, Mr. Attorney, or Mr. Manager. Item number 21, first item under the agenda items, and Mr. Jamie Jones, you have the floor, Assistant City Manager.
Yes, Mr.
And
Mayor.
Development and Infrastructure Manager, and everything else manager.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, before we get into the item, I would like to commend Madam Attorney. She has a higher running gear than Attorney Walker. You moved a lot faster.
We upgraded.
She moves a little more rapidly. So,
You noticed he wasn't here for the last two. He sent Danny. This is how we haze people, by the way. It's internal. I don't know if you're aware. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I digress.
She did catch another gear.
I digress.
So Highland Park Community Development District interlocal agreement is the item before the commission this evening, and the recommended action is to authorize the city manager and/or designee to execute the interlocal agreement. As a reminder on the history of the item, the city of Newberry has requested that certain components of the commercial and residential portion of the wastewater system in Highland Park be oversized to accommodate connection from adjacent development. The developer is working with the city to obtain reimbursement for these items, not only the completed but the future upsizing in the residential portion. In addition to that wastewater oversizing, the Highland Park developer is installing a traffic signal and is working with the city of Newberry for partial reimbursement on that cost. That reimbursement would come from city funding and a capital contribution from Publix for the installation of the signal. The interlocal agreement is documentation that these items will not be included in the Community Development District bonds that when they are issued, due to the fact that these will be reimbursed directly to the developer. So as a reminder to the commission, they do have a CDD for the residential portion. Initially, they identified some of these items in the potential bond issue. We just want to ensure that if we reimburse the developer directly, it's not incorporated in the bonds.
Okay. So they can't collect from us and then turn around and collect from the residents a second time. Everybody understands that? Okay. Would somebody like to make a motion and get on the floor?
Motion.
All right, we've got Commissioner Mazon, and I'm sorry, I didn't hear the second.
Clark.
Commissioner Farnsworth on the second.
Oh, man.
Any discussion from the dais? Any questions of Jamie Jones?
I have one.
Commissioner Farnsworth, you have the floor.
The reimbursement, when does that occur? Does that occur at the completion of the construction, or how is that set up?
The city of Newberry typically reimburses after completion of construction.
Any other further questions?
There was a thing that we would reimburse them after they had the receipts showing that that spent that much money, because it ain't much. Are we doing that, or are we waiting to the whole completion?
Well, there's actually multiple issues. The oversizing of the wastewater on the commercial portion is almost 100% complete. They don't have the letter of acceptance yet. The residential portion is to be constructed, and they're underway.
I'm on the light.
The light is under construction now.
Yeah, it's reimbursable after they spend so much.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, what Commissioner Farnsworth is asking is typically the standard would be we would not reimburse until construction is fully complete. What the developer is asking is that if they can show us receipts that show that they have spent more than the 268, can they get reimbursed for the 268? I'm willing to entertain that as long as we can see that there's $268,000 worth of value that has been spent out there. I think that by the time that this document is signed by us, signed by them, recorded with the clerk, those two things will probably coincide fairly closely. So I think it's a moot point. But I just want to be clear, that is the request that they have. They're deep into this project. They are asking to get the asking to get the money that we've dedicated as quickly as possible. I'm open to those conversations as long as we can prove through invoice, receipts, seeing $268,000 worth of value in the ground there, right? Then I think it's an open conversation.
But then they still have their portion to contribute. And then
They're paying all of it right now. They're paying everything.
What about Publix? When are they going to?
We have Publix's funds, and that will distribute those as soon as this interlocal is signed. That's how we get to 268. We've committed 164. We have Publix's 164.
Okay.
That gets us to the 268. When they can show receipts equaling or greater than 268, then we can have a conversation.
Okay.
Just for clarity of the record, 134 from Publix, 134 from the city.
Got it? We do have a member of the public, and we have a representative from Highland Park as well. If you have any questions of them, I want to recognize her patience of sitting here all night because it's almost 9:30. Did you have any questions of her by any chance? We're good? Okay. Any public comment? All right. Monty, let her sit there.
I'm sorry. I don't understand. The Highland Park community is the one past the Wawa on the right?
It is where the Wawa is.
So-
It's right across from Publix.
We are reimbursing them for infrastructure, like a light or something?
So what happens is they actually, so their property, for instance, may only require an 8-inch water line just to do their property. But we also recognize that there's development that's going to happen on the other side. So they put in a 12-inch line to accommodate future growth. So we're basically reimbursing them for the difference of that 4 inches.
Gotcha. So
And
you're
we're
going to
whole-
oversize it.
Yep, and we're holding money that Publix gave us to go towards the light. So as manager said, as long as they demonstrate that they have spent more than, we will then give them back the portion of Publix that we're holding and pay them for that 4%, 4
Excuse
inch
my
pipe.
ignorance. I was just trying to understand that. Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
You got it.
And Mr. Mayor, again, just for clarity's sake, on all of the oversizing issues, what we put into the developers agreement, what they signed, what we signed, is a pioneering agreement that whoever comes in and hooks into that infrastructure will be the entity that pays them back for the oversizing. So the city of Newberry will never pay them that. That's in the document that they signed, their developers agreement. It's a pioneer agreement. It sunsets in 10 years. If nobody develops around them, then they were at risk. The phrase "at risk" also in the developers agreement.
Fair.
Right?
Fair point, absolutely. So one more time for public comment, and
I just wanted to clarify it.
come on down, come on down. See?
Just to clarify.
Just state your name and then your point.
Lindsay Mozinski, representing Highland Park CBD.
Mozinski?
Mozinski,
Okay,
Moczynski. That it is the developer, not the district, who will be doing the funding for that.
thank you. All right, if there's no more deliberations, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimous. Thank you, ma'am. Item number 22, and we have a resolution to be read into the record. Consideration of economic development ad valorem tax exemption. Madam Attorney, you have something to read into the record?
Mr. Mayor?
You're good? You're good?
Resolution number 2025-48, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Newberry, Florida, acknowledging receipt of an application for an economic development ad valorem tax exemption, expressing the Commission's intent to consider the application, directing staff to negotiate a proposed abatement agreement, providing severability, and setting a public hearing for the consideration of an ordinance granting such exemption.
Mr. Lee, you have the floor. Stand by. Mr. Lee, you have the floor.
Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, about 40 minutes ago, you updated the zoning on the Agritech Park, so I'm happy to bring forth our first application to move into the Agritech Park. Things have been moving fast. I can't go into a lot of detail, given the nature of this as an economic development incentive. The high level is, about 10 years ago, the voters of Newberry approved a referendum that allowed the city to provide tax abatement for ad valorem taxes to specific qualified businesses that invest a specific amount of capital dollars into our community and generate jobs. We're happy to tell you that we've received our first economic development ad valorem tax exemption application from a project known as Project Hydro. Their real name and business is currently confidential and exempt from public records. Project Hydro has represented to the city that they'll employ at least 50 or more full-time equivalent employees. They will be paying substantially more than the 115% of our annual wages, and they will make a significant capital investment into our community. Per your ordinance, the first step for tax abatement is for the commission to give us the
Hang on one second, Dallas. Mr. Mayor, one important piece, the reason that the name of the business is confidential is because we are not the only location that they are looking at. So we are in competition to bring this business to the city of Newberry under state law. The business has the right for their information to be private while they're making this decision. So I just want to make sure that's clear. Newberry is one of two communities that they have narrowed down to. I think we have a really, really good shot. That's why we're here tonight. But that's why the information is confidential or state law. Until they declare where they want to go, they have the right for that information to be confidential.
So if we get a good package together, maybe we get chosen, and that's why we're talking, right?
That is correct. So the first step in us putting together that package is to get the commission to consider if you would be willing to offer a package. If you do, you'll approve the resolution tonight. That'll authorize the city manager and staff to negotiate an abatement package, and then we'd bring that back to the commission for your approval in the form of an ordinance. So you'd have 2 more votes before any abatement is given final. The resolution also sets the first public hearing on that ordinance for October 27th.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Long and a second by Commissioner Coleman to set the public hearing and ordinance granting an economic development ad valorem tax exemption and direct the city manager to negotiate an abatement incentive. There's no further discussion from the dais. Any from the public? Come on.
Oh, I understand that we want to give them an incentive to come here
Yep.
for jobs and stuff, and that
Yep.
would offset the amount of taxes that they would pay essentially.
Theoretically.
Because they bring jobs in. I just worry about that because are these low-paying jobs? Are these high-paying jobs? Is it really going to offset it? And I don't know because there's not enough information here for me to read that. Not that I have a problem with it. We do want jobs here because who wants to drive to Gainesville anymore? I just want to understand that a little bit better. I know we're vying for their competition and offering them incentives. It's just, I feel like we're missing out on kind of like money that they could bring us.
Yeah, so the wages are indicated to be 115%, 115% of the local average. So they'll actually be paying 15% higher than the average wage here.
Do you know what the average
for those,
wage here is?
There's about 50 of those jobs. I don't, but he probably does. But the other, my other point for you, Brandy, was we don't know all the details of what we're going to offer or what they're asking until we actually get to the table. So there's a little unknown there. But Dallas, the question to you is, do you know the average wage?
Mr. Mayor, I do. I cannot reveal how many employees, except for it'd be more than 50, but the average wage is $90,000 a year. And once we bring back the ordinance, you'll have all the information available to you.
Okay.
I'm okay with that, thank you.
And Mr. Mayor, to be
Is there
clear,
any other further public comment? Seeing none.
I just want to clarify, the tax abatement program that the citizens voted on does not waive taxes forever.
Yeah.
It's a short-term period of time, and then we collect everything.
If there's no further discussions, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Yeah, we had a motion from Commissioner Long and a second by Commissioner Coleman. I'm sorry, revote, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Mr. Farnsworth, did you vote?
I did.
Okay.
3 times already.
Funny, we only voted on twice. You sure you ain't a Democrat? Voting, all the, motion passes unanimous. Motion passes unanimous, Madam Clerk. All right, before we get too punchy, we still got comments. Citizens first. You got it.
Okay, so of course I want to talk about the charter school a little more. I know y'all think it's a done deal and everything, and maybe it is. And I want to put on record, I do hope the best for this school. I do want it to flourish. As you said when you were running for mayor, that you would be reluctant to fund this more had they needed more money past the $2.2 million. Are you still under that mindset?
Yeah, and I think a couple of the commissioners are on record as saying that as well.
And do we have a mechanism to get the 2.2 million back, say it goes belly up and they can't repay it because the state's not going to keep paying for a closed school? Do we have a mechanism to recover that money?
I see the manager reaching for the mic out of my peripheral.
Can I pause?
So. Yeah, you could.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the money is bonded. So
I need more explanation.
A bond is like insurance. So they take out insurance to ensure repayment. So if they fail, the bond insurance company pays us.
So the governing board takes out a bond
Correct. Yep.
and, okay. Anyways, besides that,
A bond is like insurance.
Yeah.
So they buy insurance to repay us. So the bond pays us like an insurance company if they cannot pay us back.
How do they afford the insurance?
It's part of their budget also. Yeah.
I mean, they don't have a budget. They have a budget of zero, so they have this thing from us, right? Correct? Or
No, now that they have their charter authority, they can actually go get grants. They'll actually start getting money for the students shortly after.
School starts next.
School starts,
term.
yeah.
Right, I understand
And
that.
you tell me.
I'm not trying to spend it anyway. I'm trying to understand how, as a taxpayer, I feel like I'm being double taxed. We have to pay the public school taxes.
I think,
We
yeah.
have to do that.
Yeah.
This money, yes, we already paid it in we paid it in taxes. It was my tax dollars. He's shaking his head, so.
Yeah.
What? Correct me.
Mr. Mayor, there's no money in this budget. The 2.2 million that keeps getting floated on social media is a backstop. Just for the public's information, state law changed this year. So the Alachua County School Board cannot take anything out of the school. That's $832,000 of what the school board has budgeted to replace the things that the Alachua County School Board previously could. So there was budgeted 1.5 million if we had to replace everything. 832 of that is now no more. They can't take anything out. So the budget already got cut in half. The school board, the Newberry School Board will meet tomorrow. Then they can go after grants. All of the funding follows the kid. That's how all schools work. So that's where their budget money comes from. So this 2.2 that keeps getting pushed out as if it's in the budget that you guys voted on tonight, that's false information. It's not true. That is a backstop of what we will support the school up to. And great news, half of that just got eliminated by changes in the state law. I think that they'll be successful at grants. We won't know until they get started, and that's why it's a backstop, because when we find out finally what they actually need, then we'll know how much we have to support them. But until that point, we won't know the answer to that.
That's great to hear that the law has changed. But for the federal funding for the kitchen equipment, that's not a state law. That's a federal thing that they have to remove. That is federal, not state. Can you shake your head? Correct me, please.
Mr. Mayor, that also isn't accurate. Actually, the opposite is true. When you get federal funding, it's tied to the school. So anything that a school gets through federal funding, this was true before the state law changed, has to stay there. I know that was also a point of confusion and perhaps purposeful misinformation that was spread before. But when federal funding is spent, that money has to stay at the school. That has always been true. It's still true today.
So on the consent agenda for the governing board meeting tomorrow is a motion for the chair to be able to withdraw money from that 2.2 million. It's on their agenda, it's on their consent agenda, which gets approved, no non-controversial.
Yeah, I honestly haven't looked at that, so I can't speak to it.
Yeah, I suggest y'all look at that because that was very concerning, being that they haven't had a public meeting yet. They don't have bylaws. They don't have any of this other thing. And I know y'all are working in partnership with them. I won't call it a municipal charter because, all that, even though I think it is. But I really do think it's going to take a while for this school to recover from the damage that has been done. Half of the teachers left the first year, a lot left this year, and some at the end of this year will leave. I think we will end up with 10 of the original teachers. I hope y'all get some of those good qualified teachers back for the charter school. I do. But that's yet to be seen. I'm not saying Alachua County public schools are good or anything like that. I'm saying this feels like a double taxation, and you can't say it's not until that money is actually not used. And we don't know that it's not going to be used. I mean, it was voted on to loan them that money as a backstop, but it will be available to them shall they need it.
Yeah.
So that feels like double taxation on the school that we already paid for, and it was an A-rated school. And it affected, this is off kilter, but it affected my children very highly in this school. Like, they didn't feel comfortable in the school, so that's why we moved school. And I really don't find it appropriate when people tell me I don't have a right to speak on this. I like to speak on my community. I like to understand what's going on in our government, as you see,
You got it.
about everything.
Absolutely.
So I stand here before y'all just to, I know y'all want it, but like, keep it in your mind that as citizens, we do pay a price, and we just got rates raised across the board, and no fat was being cut. It said it couldn't be cut, and I'm just seeing this as something that could potentially be cut, and I think it's going to be used, but that's yet to be seen. But I do want to put it on record that that is something I worry about. And as the Board of Education said before, if you're a minority in a school, do you think the minority in that school is going to get a fair shake when the majority in that school is a different demographic? If you understand what I'm saying. You know, I mean, I got a little harassed here, and my kids got a little harassed in the school because of this. And I live for my kids. That is the only reason I come here every time to speak on this, because it hurt my family. It hurt my family, my 3 kids. I've got 6 years of a kindergartner going to an elementary school. It hurt my family. That's why I'm here speaking to all of y'all about this. Keep it in your mind. This is not just, I want it, get it done. That's it. Please think this through more. Thank you.
Understood. Okay, thank you. Ms. Loy, you got anything?
I'm delighted he's back.
We are too. All right. City manager, anything?
Hey, Mr. Mayor, just have a couple. It is time to reappoint the North Central Florida Regional Planning Council member, Commissioner.
I'll get a say.
No.
Yeah. Tony's, Commissioner Mazon's term is coming to an end. He served his time. Fortunately for
So is
Commissioner
Lomana.
Long, who I think is universally going to be elected here, it sounds like, they now offer this by a Teams meet, so you can do it virtually. You no longer have to drive to Lake City, although it was a really good fried chicken dinner. It was at a hotel, it was a buffet.
Yeah.
I did it for 3 years straight.
You never had fried chicken?
Miss Judy, is the chicken any good? Be honest.
Come on now, come on.
No.
No, they buy it from a supermarket already fried, and they defrost it.
It is an important committee for us to be a member of. It's a very large committee. So I've heard a nomination. Maybe I'll talk to Commissioner Long about what this is. I was just putting it out there tonight that it was that time again, but it is sort of like a hazing ritual of who gets their turn. My second item, I think I have talked to all of you about this. You know, a while back, 10 years ago, we set a policy that we were going to use our laptops at commission meetings, and we were going to stop printing off these big reams of paper. We went through 4 reams to prepare for tonight. What I would ask is let me talk to each of you independently. If you have a laptop that you want to use, we did purchase some laptops, so maybe those are still around. They might be a little old at this point. But let me talk, if any commissioner wants the printed packet, if you have your own laptop that you want to use, we can do this kind of one at a time. I know that some of you just need the presentations. You read the backup material before you come in, but I'd like the opportunity to chat with you one-on-one about what works for each elected official. I did want to clarify, it was stated earlier that consent agendas are for non-controversial items. I don't think that that's quite true. Consent agendas are for non-actionable items. So items that are housekeeping items that it doesn't matter. Nothing that happened in the consent agenda tonight changed anything. It codified everything that had already happened. In fact, you could vote against what was in the consent agenda tonight. It wouldn't have changed anything because you had already voted on every independent item. That's why it's on the consent agenda. Consent agendas have nothing to do with controversy. They have to do with actionable items that have to be discussed and open for public comment. If nothing can change, that's why it's on the consent agenda. Just wanted to clarify that. I also wanted to clarify, because I don't want anybody walking out thinking that Newberry is sitting on $8.5 million of money that we're just stashing away. most of that money has an area that it is restricted and it's going towards because we are fiscally conservative and we try to have as much money as we can to pay for the big ticket items that are happening in the next 3 years. So, and we're required by accounting standards, and we have 3 months. Is that right? 3 months? Our policy is we can run the city for 3 months without getting any revenue in. So part of that 8 million is that reserve. And how much money is that again, Dallas? Do we need to run the city for 3 months? 2.2, 2.5? Right? So so we have to have that money sitting there to run the city, right? The rest of it it's not just sitting there collecting interest. I mean, we're collecting interest, but it's for a specific purpose because we've got multi-million-dollar projects coming at us very, very rapidly. So I wanted to clarify that. I also, for the residents at home, I'm going to say this again. In our 3 utilities, if we do not charge the utility rate payer a rate that pays for those rates, then what we're doing is we are making our non-utility residents, who are customers, we are making them subsidize the rate payer. So if we vote against what it takes to run a water system, if we vote against what it takes to run an electric feed, then what you're doing is you're taking money from the people who are not customers and you're hiding it in the millage, you're making them make up the difference, okay? And they'll never know it. And that's why we've set a policy that all of our enterprise funds have to break even. They have to pay for themselves. That's always been the policy, and that's the policy that this budget brings forward to you tonight, that everything pays for itself in an enterprise fund, right? So whatever it costs to give our electric to our residents, that's what the electric customer pays. Whatever it costs to get water, that's what the customer pays. There is no fat in those utilities. I have showed you guys the numbers of our employees versus other cities' employees. I've showed you the projections of what's coming. The rates pay for themselves. There is no profit. There is a small margin of profit in the electric that we have to go out and get the debt service for the second feed, which we desperately need. And in order to get a $3.5 million loan, we have to be able to show the bank that we have the money and the capacity to pay that off. So the commission is always free to do what the commission would like to do, but there is no fat in this budget. There isn't. I've gone through it. Right? There's nothing to cut. And the utilities need to pay for themselves. Our 6,500 Newberry residents are going to help pay people's electric bill, and that's not fair. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Madam Attorney?
Thank you all for being so welcoming. I still haven't gotten this part down yet. Thank you for being welcoming. I enjoyed coming to the meeting tonight, and it's a very,
Happy
very
to have you.
well-run meeting. So thank you so much. That's all I got.
Madam Clerk?
An excitement again. That's it.
Commissioner Coleman, you want to start the commission comments?
Sure, why not? It's kind of comical to me when I hear some people that says, well, you got $7 million to play with in your budget. When I got here 12 to 14 years ago, I can't even remember how long I've been here, but we didn't have anything. It was terrible. I mean, Timmy, you were here.
Yes, sir.
It was unbelievable.
That's his name, Timothy.
And the thing of it is that we have worked really, really hard. Dallas has done a fantastic job, and people before me, I guess, wanted to spend money in a different way. We don't. That's why most of us, I think, is pretty conservative up here. So it kind of hurts my feelings, if you want to know the truth, when some of our people think that, we're just throwing money everywhere, and we're really not. We've done a really good job, all of us. That's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Clark?
God bless America as always. God bless our troops that are deployed, a lot going on around the world. But I will say this in the budget stuff now that we're coming to a final end. I did see a lot of comments, a lot of the fire assessment stuff. We get beat up for the decisions we have to make up here. We make hard decisions up here based on what we get for information in this budget. And we do have a balanced budget, and the staff give us the information as the workshops that we went through to make a balanced budget. But I will say this, if people would just look, and if we wanted to go to the MSTUs and all the things that the counties want, their millage rate would be 10 instead of 5.8. I would just tell you, if the people think for 1 minute we're wasting their money, we can go right to millage, put everything in the millage, and I will guarantee their millage rate for everybody will be 10. So people just need to think about that. We're not here wasting, because there's a lot of money and a lot of decision made here. Fire safety, law enforcement are big, big budget items. So people just need to realize that.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Farnsworth?
Congratulations to the Gators for their 15 points. 16. And I don't like to point fingers, but
Your nose is growing.
I know, it is. I don't remember raising you last year. That was last year. Who remembers that far back? I remember. I don't like to point fingers, but these commission meetings have really gotten really long since Donald got elected.
Donald Long got elected.
Also, do we need to start these meetings at 6 o'clock instead of 7?
I was used to 6 o'clock meetings at P&Z, so we're done. We still stayed to 11 and 12 o'clock.
So I don't know whether that's an option or not, but it seems to be getting later and later. And that's all I know.
Commissioner Long meeting.
I just want to start out by thanking Judy. I appreciate your support through my campaign, and I'm going to miss you. And you left the city in good hands. Miranda, you're doing a great job so far, so I appreciate that. I know a lot of people, my mom, them down at the MLK, have doing a senior prom. So if anybody looking for tickets and know anybody want to get out, I'm sponsoring a few people, so people want to come, I'm paying for the tickets. Other than that, go Noles, and I'm glad to see the Gators looking like we did last year. But other than that, that's it.
All right, I got a couple things here. Trying to be real quick. To go with Donald, senior night, prom night at the, it's going to be here at the Municipal Building at 6 p.m., September 20th. You can get your tickets, they're $25. You can get your information from, your tickets from either MLK, the City Hall, or Easton Sports Complex. Okay, once again, that is going to be on the 20th of September at 6 o'clock. Also, MLK is hosting a cooking class with Joy. Okay, it's the second Tuesday of each month. It's going to be at 6 p.m. It's a free class, so anybody that wants to come and cook, Coleman, impress your wife. I got you. That the address is 25515 Northwest 6th Avenue, Newberry, Florida 32669. And if you need to contact anybody, that's 352-474-6078. Okay, that's that. Judy, man. So I wanted to say goodbye to you. Finally, you have, for my entire terms, you've been a blessing. You've been helpful. I'm going to make sure it's okay. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. You did good. I'm going to miss those. I'm truly going to miss those. I get the opportunity to see you more than the guys do on a weekly basis because I deliver. So what made it unique was prior to me becoming a commissioner, I delivered here. So the relationship that we had was it was authentic, and that goes for Jamie Jones and anybody else that works for the city when I delivered. So when I finally got nominated or ran unopposed and came into the office, we looked at each other and she was like out of disbelief, but excitement. And I've been nothing but a pain since with the paperwork, and I do apologize for that. But you've been it is hard to find someone that doesn't judge you for what you do whether it's right, left, whatever, gay, straight, and Judy does a phenomenal job of putting all that to the side and treating you as a human being, and I appreciate you, and I am truly gonna miss you, and hearing the Dallas, like the behind the scenes, people don't see these things. Dallas, Janine, that just made me respect you even more, so I am truly gonna miss you, and I love you, and good luck to you. Good luck to you. Randa, welcome to the commission. I know you're gonna do a phenomenal job because she hired you, because she recommended you. So that's how I know you're gonna do well. Let's see here. So real quick, clarification when it comes to the charter school. I mean, are we gonna be able to get clarification? Because I heard the most absurd thing, right? Which means someone came to me and said, hey, my kid's gotta pay to get to the school. How's he go? I'm like, he's within the perimeter of the city limits, so he's gonna go to the school. I don't wanna draw this out, but there are rumors going out there saying that some of these kids are gonna have to pay, first of all, which is crazy. That's not a thing. And some of them are saying they're not gonna be accepted, even though they're within the city limits. So I would love to get like some clarification, because that upsets me, and I think that honestly, that they're being misinformed. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll say that. Hold on to that, because I want to be real quick with this. Did Judy? Let's go here. Dallas. I did this. Let's see. Oh, and I want to say, have you guys drove by Pap's doctor? It looks nice. He did a phenomenal job of that, and it looks great. I wanted to throw that out there. He did a great.
CR grade.
Yes, and it actually exceeded expectations. He did a phenomenal job of that. When are the updates? When are we going to get sidewalks on Southwest 15th Ave? I wanted to ask that because they should have been in by now, and they're not.
You want to answer now? You got something
I had a
else?
resident ask me about this, and I dropped by there.
We are waiting for 2 days without rain when we're not going to be impeding the parent pickup and drive. So we have been on call for the last 3 weekends. And every weekend we get rained out. So if we get 2 days without rain, we should be able to do the topping on the asphalt, sidewalk striping, unless Jamie makes a liar out of me.
Correct.
Is that on?
What I would,
Is that mic on?
yes. What I would, a little bit to finish. We're a year ahead of what we thought we originally would take. With the contractor, I would have never believed it. Inconvenience.
When we originally advertised, this was an 18-month construction project. So, I mean, I can't echo what Jamie just said about our new Public Works Director, Rance. He has gone personally. I know people have stood up here and said that he hasn't communicated. I've seen him standing in people's yards, talking to them. We hung door knockers on doors. I mean, he is, I don't know how, I thought he was incorrect. I said, no, buddy, there's no way. There's no way. This was supposed to be 18 months, and it was down to a year. And I think if we can get those 2 days without rain, we're gonna have this done in a record time.
Okay, and then I wanted to give my condolences to the Langford's family. We drove out there. Me and my wife, we coached them, but we know the family well. We know Bobby. Bobby's here in the city. Bobby Privatis. And that's a very sad situation. And I want to give that family my condolences. Nobody wants to bury their daughter. You should always bury your parents. Parents should never have to bury their daughter or their kids. So I want to give my condolences to that family. I will think about them and pray for them for a long time, and I'll probably never ever forget her. Now, I hope this doesn't stir anything. To the respect of Commissioner Coleman, I want to say this is my third term. 3 terms ago, he asked when are RDRs and LDRs going to be worked on. Here we are now, and we got a lot of annexations coming in. When are we going to work on that? And if that's not going to be a while, are we able to put like a hold until we get this worked on?
I'm going to go back and answer, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to answer your first question first. First question is that has never been true. I don't know that repeating it anymore is going to change. Anybody who's continuing to say that publicly is doing so intentionally to create distrust about the charter school not having to pay. From the very beginning and the very first proposal, No one has ever had to pay. If you are inside the city of Newberry limits, you are automatically in. You have to enroll just like you have to do in Alachua County right now. Nothing is different. That has never changed. We've never wavered on that. No kid will have to pay. Everyone who's inside the city limits will be automatically enrolled. That's one of the primary reasons Newberry Elementary School, despite the school board paying a consulting company to try to entice kids away, right? Newberry Elementary School is still over 150% capacity at K through fourth, with the Terwilliger on Parker Road at sub 50% capacity. They're busing kids 6.7 miles to us to put us at over 150% capacity. When they moved fifth grade over 15 years ago to Oakview as a temporary measure, we have teachers leaving every day in tears because their classes are overcrowded, there's black mold in the classrooms, the air conditioners are broken, the copy machine's broken. That's why we are here. There has been nothing that the Alachua County School Board has done since this was first proposed to today that has made me regret this decision at all. They got a 0.9% raise. The entire science building at the high school is out of air conditioning still to this day. We've had kids that for 2 weeks sat on the floor with a clipboard because they didn't have enough desks. So I agree that teachers are leaving. Teachers have been leaving. If you're just now recognizing that, then I don't know what to tell you. Teachers have been leaving this profession for years because of the mistreatment, the disrespect, the lack of discipline in the classroom, the lack of support from the board. Nobody wanted to do this. This has been a tremendous amount of work. Nobody wanted to be here. I spent 15 years. I was at the appeal where we won every single motion, and some of the board members asked, well, did anybody ever sit down with the board? And one of our board members stood up and said, no. That is a flat lie. I bought coffee for board members for 15 years, begging them. I went to every single one of them. I went to 4 of the 5 listening sessions when they were talking about spot zoning, and I begged, and they were going to spot zone the 3 most overcrowded schools, and they forgot Newberry Elementary School, which is the most overcrowded school in the district. It wasn't even on their radar. I went to 4 of those listening sessions begging them to include Newberry Elementary School, saying you have Terwilliger sub 50% capacity. It's right there. It's right there. You could easily take 20 to 30% load off immediately with that one change. It's the easiest thing in the world. I bought the coffee on a school teacher's salary for these school board members to tell them about the air conditioners. Everyone in the city of Newberry is going to get to go. That's the whole ever-loving point. It's the Newberry Community School. Nobody's going to take care of your kids like we will. I was a teacher in this district for 19 years. My classroom was a safe haven for kids who were getting bullied, kids who had different persuasion. They could come to my room, they could be safe in my room, they could talk. I saw the policies. I saw the lack of policies. I did not come to this decision lightly. I did not come to work with these parents lightly. It had to get this bad for us to get here. I will always fight for our kids. Every kid in the city of Newberry, I don't care what your disability, I don't care what your gender, I don't care what your persuasion is, every kid in the city of Newberry goes to Newberry Elementary School. That has always been true. It will never not be true. Anyone who says it's not true, is just not listening. It's never been written up differently. It's never been stated differently by anybody pushing this. The second question was LDRs. We were on track. We were there. We were almost done with the comp plan. You guys had voted to spend some extra money to get the LDRs done. Tallahassee passed SB 180. That threw a wrench in our comp plan. It paused the 2 articles that speak mostly to the things that you care about. You cannot change anything that's more restrictive in the LDRs until 2027. So we are waiting for the state, which is also by caveat, true of most things that we have to have in our budget. They are federal or state laws. I saw somebody saying that municipalities are the ones that are driving people's prices up. You guys don't do anything. You guys don't do anything. Everything y'all do is because the state or federal government is mandated that you do it. We could have built a $20 million wastewater facility, but state mandates doubled that price. You don't have any control. You have to do it. It's state law that says there's 4 firemen on site. You don't have any control over that. When people come up here and they say, well, there's fat in the budget, it's mind-boggling frustrating for anyone who's been paying attention and trying to work on this to blame you 6 people for trying to keep up with the rapid pace of federal and state mandates that are almost always unfunded mandates. So I'm not sure if I answered. We're paused until SB 180, and I have to apologize. I owe Miss Tracy here an apology. She waited all of this time for me to introduce you to her, and I'm loopy. Miss Tracy Osteen is going to be playing a dual role she will be Miss Randa's, our clerk's assistant, and the city manager's assistant in New City Hall. We've got an office for her right in between, so she's going to take care of both of us. It's another cost savings that this commission has cut fat out of the budget, right? Just like when we dissolved the facilities department and we promoted Rance Green to the facilities director, that saved over $100,000 in our budget. That's why we have 80 full-time employees where other cities around us are double that. If you know how hard these people work, they're here till 10 o'clock at night. They're answering the phone for me at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm answering y'all's calls at 6:30, right? These men and women, they live and die for this community, and they're bleeding their hearts when people say, well, there's fat in the budget. I want you guys to come on this side of the dais and work with them for a week and see what they're doing, see what they're putting up with, trying to interpret what's coming out of Tallahassee and giving it to you guys. Because you guys want the LDRs, we want the LDRs. And then Tallahassee passes SB 180, and every city is suing because you should have the right to say, no, I want 50-foot lots, not 40-foot lots. I want sidewalks on both sides. That's your right. That's your prerogative to build the kind of community you want to build. They should not have the ability to take that home rule away from you. I get the point. There was some city out there who during a hurricane tried to go in and change it and make it more restrictive and try to change all the rules, but you don't punish the entire state because one city tried to take advantage. You figure out how to fix the problem. You don't say to every city who's declared a state of emergency, which is every city in the state of Florida with hurricanes, say you can't change anything for 3 years. That's a ludicrous solution. That's the end of my rant, Mr. Mayor. Miss Tracy, did you want to introduce yourself? Miss Tracy Osteen. Yeah.
Welcome, Tracy.
First thing I had was it was enjoyable to hear all the nice comments about you, Miss Judy, at the retirement party. God bless you. And I guess you're not coming in anymore, huh? Today's the last day? Over? Okay. Well, enjoy it. You have earned it 100%. I think what is kind of needing to be said is when we go through the budget season and, we have to make these tough decisions, that is the power through the citizens' vote that they delegate to us so they don't have to sit in these long meetings and keep up with this stuff day after day and make phone calls at 6:30 in the morning or anything like that. But it is their buy-in and agreement when y'all get reelected or when you get run unopposed. I want you to understand for sure that is their vote of confidence that you are doing what they ask you to do, and myself as well and the staff. So we do have that to fall back on. And it is our decision. Nobody makes us run. We take the leadership decision. We take the ownership of that decision. It's not staff's. They just give us the information. So if the community is out there, if you want to beat up on somebody, it's the 6 of us up here. That's what we get paid to do. And it shouldn't be taken out on staff or the firefighters for the fire assessment or anything like that. We don't have to choose to do that. We do, and we take ownership of it. And I'm very proud of the fact that we don't shy away from making those decisions, even when they're tough and not very popular. To kind of piggyback on what the manager was saying, I went to concurrency meetings at the school board year after year after year And they know exactly what the numbers are out here. They know what the numbers are in High Springs, elsewhere. And for political reasons is the only thing that is feasible at this point. They chose not to do anything. They had all of the information. They had it plenty of advance. I lobbied heavily for rezoning and got it almost to the finish line, and they chose not to do it. In my opinion, it was completely sabotaged. And I think at this point, it's become punitive, and it's costing the taxpayer monies that are taxpayers outside of Newberry money, because now they're paying the attorney's fee for the charter. I don't know what it is, but I know that they are paying. I've been to multiple meetings and had to listen to school board members, tell lies, and I just keep my mouth shut. And I say what I need to say when it needs to be said. And I told this to the school board of the state. They are not afraid of us failing and failing these kids. They're afraid of us succeeding and rewarding these kids and that spreading, because the fact of the matter is, if you don't take care of the customer, we've all had businesses, who else will? Somebody. And that somebody's us. And I'll take that to the bank. And I will own it, and I will be out front cheerleading this effort, and I hope other communities do it, and I hope that we get the middle school, and I hope we get the high school at some point. And my last point is just the fact that our personality is problem solving. Our personality is to look at stuff that other people aren't willing to look at. That's why people are coming here. That's why we're growing. I'd rather have growing pains than shrinking pains. I'd rather our property values be going up than going down. I'd rather be dealing with businesses that want to be here and want to open, like Dr. Paps, than ones that want to shut their business and go, if you want that, look around. It's there and it's ugly. So I don't take any grief in being successful. We can help a lot more people by being successful than not. And we shouldn't shy away from that. Pastor Rocky was talking about growth at church on Sunday, wasn't he? Yep. And growing pains are better than shrinking pains. That's all I got to say. And we are adjourned.